Welcome to Kansas Motor Speedway. It is the round of 12 and we are live coming to you on JB Motorsports. The engines have been fired and we are gearing up for a great getaway. Hello everybody, apologies we are slightly late on air today. The reason, you are going to laugh, I'm literally just now putting my headset on, unmuting it and coming up to the commentary box camera. Myself and JT, we decided to go on a little adventure today. Yeah, it took a little bit. We went to the Brisker F1 and F2s, which is a UK stock car championship, and it was JT's fault. I've only just got back into the commentary box this second. My hair is covered. I am covered in mud, as Joe Sambiego is watching on the background, looking at it. I'm covered in mud. You can see the two camera there actually as well. I've got to hide that. I am literally caked. Let's come to the full screen. How do I do that? Button 4. Yes, here you go. Look at me. I am covered in mud. It's all over me. Even my trousers are covered in mud. That's how powerful dirt racing is. My hands are just dirt everywhere. I am not, there's not a pore on my body that has anything but dirt on it. And I've literally walked into the commentary box, put a headset on and gone straight on air to you people. And this is how I'm going to have to stay for the next 4 hours. Dedication. Welcome then to the round of 12. And this place is awesome. Kansas always gives us very exciting racing. And the cars are leaving pit road. Chase Briscoe's on pole. Let's turn it up. Here we go then, it's time to kick into action. NASCAR returns to Kansas Speedway for the Hollywood Casino 400. 267 laps ahead of us, and all signs of action is coming up. Welcome up to the commentary box, Josh Birch with you as well. We'll have special guests joining us throughout the program here as well as we gear up for what is going to be a sensational run. First of all, let's turn off the muddy jacket and just get it off. I am wearing a shirt underneath which I hope has been remained clean. It looks like it has. The trousers, however, look at that. Okay, maybe not. The dust. Look on the inside of the jacket. The amount of dust. My goodness me. Oh my God. It looks like I've been shot in the back. Oh my God. Is that coming up on camera? For you at home, is that coming? Look at that. Brisker Dirts, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh my God, it looks like I've been shot in the back. Okay, well, I don't know where to put this coat. I'll put it here. That is. Oh. Well, it's one of those days, I'm afraid. Let's check in with how it all goes then. And check in downstairs.
Oh, we're great. Last time you started on the front row, you absolutely dominated the race at Darlington. Can you do that again today?
I certainly hope so. I felt like our Bass Pro Shops Tracker Toyota was really good yesterday in practice. So, yeah, at that point, you can't lead them all unless you start up here. So, for sure, feel like we have a great opportunity to execute and do like what we did at Darlington. So, yeah, definitely got a good shot at it. Just got to put it all together. These things are really hard to do that and win. So, if we do that, we should have a shot at it. So.
Well, it's hot and slick today. Tell us what the biggest challenge you're going to face.
Yeah, I think this, your car is going to do a lot of different things throughout the course of the run. It might start tight, go really loose. You're going to obviously have to be up by the fence, and like you said, it's hot and slick. You're going to be slipping and sliding around. So just trying to, run close to that thing without hitting it. There's more speed there, but whenever you do jump over it, obviously it's not good. So it's going to be a challenge. Hopefully, we can do it. I know we're up for it. So see what we got.
Well, you got the best seat in the house. We're going to enjoy watching you. Have fun today.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Love hearing that, running up close to the fence. That's why the drivers love Kansas Speedway. Not only riding that up close, but a variety of lines that you can have. Let's get to today's grid, brought to you by Valvoline. And we just heard from Chase Briscoe, 7th pole position of the year. He's been the qualifying king. Hamlin alongside him. Let's go to row 2. Kyle Larson. Yes, he loves this place, and could today be the day that gets back to victory lane? Chase Elliott, his teammate, starts alongside him. The 3rd row, Christopher Bell. He was the runner-up here earlier this year in May, and the first non-playoff driver is Carson Hocevar. Row 4 shows us Bubba Wallace, who has been victorious here and is feeling confident, alongside Ty Gibbs. Row 5, Ross Chastain, another driver who has gone to victory lane here in Kansas. He likes his chances alongside Eric Jones. And then William Byron and Tyler Reddick on row 6. Back to the 7th row, Josh Berry, who had such a great run last weekend, and Noah Gregson. As we check in with Kim Kuhn. Kimmy?
Well, despite having won this race in 2023, Tyler Reddick has finished 17th or worse in the last 3 races at Kansas. And as much as they'd like a win today, crew chief Billy Scott told me it is easier said than done. The whole field is evolving, and you cannot rely on the things that made you fast in the past. There was some uncertainty after practice yesterday for the 45 team, and Billy told me they had to make quite a few more changes overnight than they typically do on a weekend.
All right, let's jump back in the starting lineup. Row 8, Chris Buescher. Last year, lost this race by 1/1000th of a second. Row 9, Alex Bowman. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Alex Bowman run really well here in the past. A lot of top 10s. Row 10, Ryan Priest, AJ Allmendinger. 2 guys needing a good run. Row 11 and row 12, Michael McDowell, SVG. After the green flag drops, they will have to serve a stop-and-go penalty for rules violations. Row 13, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric going to the rear. Row 14, Zane Smith. Had a lot of speed lately, looking to finish the race off. Row 15, Kyle Busch, 2-time winner here. Dave.
Jeff, you mentioned Austin Cindric going to the rear. When I caught up with him today, he was in physio. Yes, doing those stretches that can help even a young guy like him, only 27, get to the end of a long, hot day here at the Kansas Speedway. He said his car was pretty good in practice. He called it versatile when we talked to him on the air, but then he grazed the wall in qualifying. They had to replace some suspension points and get that car back to its race shape. Remember, he starts today below the cut line, trying to get points or best a win.
Here we go then, it's time to shape up. We'll be lining up this time by. Alongside me in the commentary box tonight is the Grid Network founder and motorsport enthusiast, Joe Sammiego. Joe, welcome to you, my friend. Here we go then, time to kick up here at Kansas. What are you expecting in the round of 12?
This is going to be a very interesting race, Josh. I know Matthew Bro and I were discussing on the pre-race show. We're going to be looking at what the Fords can do. This race traditionally has plenty of caution flags, 7 at minimum since 2021. Beautiful opportunity for the 12 to 22 to make adjustments during those pit stops, get the car better. But you don't want to be in trouble by being in one of those crashes that cause a caution. So they got to be careful that good handling will be key. I anticipate the first stage you're going to be looking at Chevrolet, Toyota. Toyota has the upper hand. I think you're going to see if it's an uneventful, caution-free first stage, expect a Toyota to win stage 1.
So the Toyota's coming through. That's Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin, 1 and 2. Counting Christopher Bell as well. Remember that we've already got Ryan Blaney locked in as things stand after victory last time out at New Hampshire. Here we go then, all steady, ready to go. I see Jack might have turned up in the commentary box as well. We'll check in with him as we go. He has. Hi Jack, we'll catch up with you just after the green flag. Nice to see you, my friend. As JT will
nice
be...
to see you as well, mate.
Yeah, I'm covered in mud, mate. I really am covered in mud.
I was going to ask how that went.
I'll show you my coat as it comes up to the start line here. There, it's covered in just mud
my word.
everywhere. So, let's see if the NASCARs... I've just literally spent around about 8 hours listening to thumping Chevy V8s go around a small field in Scunthorpe. Let's see what the big boys can do. The NASCAR Cup Series is coming to Kansas for the Hollywood Casino 400. The green flag falls. NASCAR is green. Good start from Briscoe. Keeps down the low line through 1 and 2. Then we see Denny Hamlin already in battle with Kyle Larson. Larson on the low line. Hamlin going up high. Elliott, I think, has chosen that higher line. He's trying to block off as well, coming through. I don't know if got to the Carlson Hocevar from the camera angle we got to as they head through into 3 and 4, the backstretch. Good start, Joe, and it's good that Jace has been able to keep that advantage at the front, and Elliott's dropping massively.
Yeah, Elliott didn't exactly have that great start, finds himself in that high line. Meanwhile, look at this view. Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace all the way in the bottom. You could use the apron. No track limits here. Just gotta be careful rejoining. It didn't work out for Bell as he slides behind the 22. And here are those 2 cars, SVG and somebody else, making their pit stop for rules infringement.
So there's SVG in, Michael McDowell in, so they're going to lose a couple of lap times. The 77 coming down low as well to take over with that of Chase Elliott is dropping further back. So Carson Hocevar moving back up into 4th position as we go. Now we've got Hamlin right in the back of Briscoe over the control line down towards turn 1. Sends Briscoe up high. Hamlin swings down low. Can't get the traction there, Jack, but Briscoe's got this one, I think, a little bit better under control as we go to battle screen because he's got the advantage of running at the front, clean air, and he knows where to go at this place.
In the next gen era, this has been an incredibly strong track for Toyota, and they're already showing it here. We've got top 2, both Toyotas. We've got about 4 Toyotas in the top 10 right now, and it looks like we might be in for a pretty good Kansas race, to be honest. This track usually delivers in the next gen era, and I'm going to be honest with you, I thought the spring race was actually pretty good, honestly, but that was a bad race by Kansas standards, so that tells you the standard of this track.
Yeah, it really does. And Joe, Kansas has been one like Bristol, where we were talking about earlier on in the year, like going, is it really deserving of 2 dates on the calendar? It's got really an approval rate today that we have a very strong qualifying, and so far we're predicting a very strong race, as you were talking about in the Grid Network pre-show.
Yeah, this race, especially when you have the playoffs on the line, I think adds a lot more. One of the things that makes the spring race a little bit more tame is the fact that when you're under the lights, cooler temperatures, more grip in NASCAR. As we see Denny Hamlin again trying to make a move on Chase Briscoe. But when you have warmer temperatures, 80 degrees and hotter, but less than 90 degrees today, not going to be slick enough to where you're going to see cars fall off, but you are going to see plenty of good racing, in my opinion, compared to when it's cooler and everyone's more flat out.
Battle for 8th also brewing between the 54 as well of Ty Gibbs and the 1 of Ross Chastain. We come back to the front though. Hamlin's looking high and looking low. He's looking at every line to try and get ahead of Briscoe, but Chase Briscoe is completely in control at the moment as things stand here, Jack, as they swing back through as well.
Yeah, shout out, by the way, Tyler Reddick at the moment. Already up to 5th after starting 12th. He has been an absolute rocket already. Previous winner at this track. As Hamlin just looking around, just seeing where he can get past Briscoe right now. I don't know if he'll go for a move this early on. As we cut away. No, we got the dual camera. Very nice.
NBC have been doing brilliant with this. Yeah, go on.
There's Ty Gibbs, who was interesting incident last week between himself and the guy running second, Denny Hamlin. He elected not to talk to any of the media reporters after qualifying, just sped away on his golf cart.
Why am I not surprised as well after qualifying?
Not Kyle Busch, mate.
Honestly, well, even Kyle Busch has stopped doing that a little bit. He's talked to a couple of people.
He can't.
Second?
He said it on Denny's podcast recently, actually.
Oh, he's still not allowed?
He stopped talking all his trash because he can't anymore because he hasn't got the results to back it up.
Okay, that nearly took me out. But yes, I agree with that. Not won a cup race in 2 seasons so far, Kyle Busch, but has won in trucks this season. So
yeah, Atlanta.
He's got something to back that up as well early on in the year. Still, the 54 now getting loose. He's been dropped back Ross Chastain has moved up to 8th position, and now we're seeing the 54 Ty Gibbs under pressure from William Byron, who's coming into the tribal section down towards 1 and 2. We've got the 21 in a battle with the 17 as well. So Josh Berry, Buscher and Bowman in the 48 going up high. Joe trying to take the pair of them through 1 and 2. Bowman is somebody who I feel has got a lot more to give in that 48 car, and I know everyone's saying, oh, it's disgusting that, you know, he's not in the playoffs, he's missed out on advancing, but I think it's released the pressure from him a little bit. He's had some great form in the last 2 races.
I do sense that ever since the elimination, he seems to be improving, and one of the big things is when you have a driver that's always in that 4th seat, you're the 4th ATR, you're the 4th Hendrick Motorsports car, it always seems that pressure builds up to the point where something that has to go good or it doesn't go good. Didn't go good for Bowman this year. Came close, great start of the season, faltered off, gets into the playoffs by points, no wins. If he could end the season strong, I think he could really silence some of the doubters entering next year. Especially when you look at Carson Hocevar running 6th place. Let's be honest, it's been a while since he's done anything where there was a lot of criticism by him.
Yeah, Hocevar's been yin and yang.
Not had a Hocevar moment.
Not yet, no, that's one. I love how you just define it as the Hocevar moment now.
I call it a Hocevar moment because he's a very unique personality, Carson, in the car and outside the car. When he was in trucks, he almost reminded me of Robbie Gordon with some of the stuff he was getting up to. Which is somewhat why I took somewhat of a liking to him. I don't know why, I just took a liking to the guy. He seems to definitely be one of the more entertaining personalities on the grid for sure. Just needs to maybe not make so many enemies.
Holds it on through as well as we go, and battle for the lead still brewing as Briscoe holding off Hamlin. We've now got the battle, Joey Logano under attack. I want to by Ryan Blaney and Brad. Well, actually, that's Logano under attack by a lapped car coming into it as well. That's Michael McDowell is getting out of the way. Logano is battling with Ryan Blaney, 28 to 29. Blaney's already through, by the way, after pull on from the 2. Penske's trying to work together there to move up the field. But, Joe, Logano got very close a week ago to continuing to advance through. But how on earth is Logano only seeming to be good at races where it matters, where you have to advance through? He doesn't turn up for the entire season, wins a race, locks himself in, and then it's like, right, game face. He is, I think, the modern king of the playoffs.
He definitely is on another level when it comes to the playoffs. And I give a lot of that credit to his crew chief, Paul Wolf. Paul Wolf, of course, championship crew chief. He is very creative when it comes to strategy. I get the sense that they know we got the equipment to win each and every race weekend. What we want to do is find just some little extras for helping us in the playoffs. So when they come to Kansas early in the year, we might try something different, may not get the results, but they are still putting themselves in contention for wins. It may not look as strong, but then you come here, the playoff season, they're looking strong. This is a track where, as we can see, Logano looking for a way around traffic. He is working his way up there. He's right now on the low line of the 34 car as they enter turn 2. Lanes behind him. If they're looking this good so far, I think you're going to be in for seeing them in the top 3 in stage 3.
So we've got Todd Gilliland and Riley Herbst and Austin Cindric. They're all running in between each other, as you were pointing out now as well. There's the 34 trying to go low and take in with the 35. But the battle going on further ahead as well as the 23 of Bubba Wallace under attack from the 17 of Chris Buescher as well. This is Buescher going through on the inside line, 15th and 16th. Remember, Buescher's out of running order and Bubba's back in. As I continue on, JT, Adam says hello to JB, JT and Joe. JT's not with us at the moment in the call. He's going to be with us on a bit later on. He's travelling back from Scunthorpe, where I've been at the Briskers with him. So he'll be back later on. Joe Sammiego very kindly filling in alongside Jack, who's in his usual role in the commentary box. As the situation still goes on and strong. It's after the opening 18 laps then, 249 to go. It is Chase Briscoe leading, Denny Hamlin second, Kyle Larson third, Chase Elliott is fourth, Tyler Reddick fifth, Christopher Bell sixth, Carson Hocevar is seventh, Ross Chastain eighth, Ty Gibbs ninth, William Byron in the top 10. To complete out your round of 12, Bubba Wallace is 16th, Austin Cindric 24th, Joe Lagarde 27th, Ryan Blaine 28th. You're back with us on the USA Network if you're watching along with us as well, joining the battle for the lead. Briscoe and Hamlin closing in. And how critical is it, and I would say for Hamlin here, Joe, to lock himself in? He's clawing at that championship, and he knows this could be one of his last chances.
It's very important, especially after we saw the contact controversy with him and Ty Gibbs. People were talking about, is this a distraction that's going to prevent him from winning the championship? He will love to go out there and get the win today as he now takes the lead entering turn 3 away from Chase Briscoe. He could get downwind, he'll silence everybody, not have to worry about the roval at all. And then in the round of 8, focus on one goal, championship 4, and he's there. So it's very possible he could do it as he leads his lap.
So finally he'll get that as only 2 lead changes then in this race so far. That has gone with the 19 leading, ironically enough, 19 laps. Now the 11 leading 1 lap on the board. Let's see if that stays on court. Pit road.
On the left rear in the middle of the corner, and then kicks out on corner exit, so struggling with a loose race car, Kim.
That's
Wallace got out of the car after practice happy. They said it was a solid, good day. He qualified in the 7th position, but it's been a free fall since the green flag. Now runs in the 16th position. It is a totally different story today. Listen to Bubba's radio.
Gosh. 10-4. You manage it best you can.
So again, Bubba not happy with that car. He said it's plowing. He cannot hit his marks from yesterday is what he told the team.
Thanks, Kim. Wonderful situations at the moment in this field right now as my words escape me as I try and go through what's going on as we take a look down there. Let's see what Bubba can do. Taking that high line as well as we've seen the 38 trying to claw back a couple of positions early on.
Yeah, Bubba very unhappy with his car at the moment. I think he's dropped all the way down to 16th, maybe lower.
Yeah, well, it's about to be because Zane and Josh Berry are going to go through. Yeah, go on, Jack.
Yeah, he started 7th, so he is dropping like an absolute rock right now. As Kyle Larson has begun chasing down Chase Briscoe. Kyle Larson won here, you have to remember, last year in that incredible photo finish between himself and Chris Buescher.
See,
Chris Buescher was 1,000th away from a playoff spot last year. That is just mental to think about.
I got jealous last year, actually, because we said, oh, look at Atlanta, 4 wide, closest ever finish. Nothing could beat that. Come to Kansas, the one race I wasn't on, Joe, and all of a sudden, bang, the closest ever finish we had. And that's what they're trying to re-deliver here this year, Goodyear. They want that tyre to last so that we can have photo finishes again and try and have good races. But as always, it's a slow burn with stage 1 not meaning much.
That's the thing. These exciting finishes overshadow the type of race you may get. You look at Atlanta. That is a super speedway style track now with the configuration, and you got a 3-wide finish to really get everyone chatting about. You're not going to get that all the time in Atlanta. You're not going to get that all the time in Kansas. But I think now the demands for we want a good finish, something to lead the fans saying, wow, that was fantastic, almost seems to take more precedence than the entire body of the race itself. So sometimes I wonder, especially non-playoff races, could we shorten the distance in some of these races like we did in 2020, where we had these shorter midweek races? A lot more time cut off, more time for mistakes though, and every lap seemed to matter more.
I'm with you on that, Joe, actually. I think the midweek races was always quite a fun spectacle during the COVID pandemic. It gave everybody a little bit of an umph. And do we really? I know the purist amongst you, and don't turn off now.
Hello.
Watching along. I'll get your thoughts in a second then, Jack. I'll go, oh, well, we always need to have 4-hour NASCAR races that go to some distance, but do we really need every week the 400 races when we could make some of them 300, some of them 350? They're shortening down a little bit. Why? Go on then, why?
Because at the end of the day, I mean, if it was my choice, most of the races in the schedule would be 500 miles, but because I like the longer races, I just like watching it build up, the anticipation, letting all the crew chiefs figure out their strategies. Yes, the races could be shorter, but I just love a longer race because it's much more of a challenge for the drivers. If you want these 300-mile races, just go watch the Xfinity Series. I mean, they put on good racing as well. Usually better than the Cup Series. Maybe not this weekend. The Xfinity race this weekend was just kind of alright.
Well, I want to know in the YouTube chat as well. Get in touch with us. Let us know. Are you a fan of shorter races, or do you want longer races in the Cup Series? Or are you happy where you are? So give us the medium. Go on, Joe.
I was going to say, overall, if they keep the Crown Jewel races, the Daytona 500, Southern 500, Coke 600, one Talladega race at 500 miles, and the Brickyard 400, I'm good with that. Especially if we're going to be at Kansas twice a year. One could be the 400-mile, like what we're doing today. One, maybe a 300-mile race. I just don't think we need like 400 miles or 500 miles at Texas Motor Speedway. I'd love to see Dover 500 miles because that track used to be a monster, but boy, we'll be talking about a 4-hour and then some race because I think there'll be a lot of cautions. So it's just one of those deals, especially the Crown Jewels, keep them at their full race length.
The chat
it's
is
just
the chat is responding to our comments here as the stage was quietening down. John says greetings from Southern Texas as well. Good evening, John. Good evening to Reginald as well. Hello, everybody watching on. Okay, so Kirkland Royalty says no, do not shorten it. Sharky and Friend says whichever is best. Kirkland also then goes on to state, take away the cautions for the stage breaks, cut down the time, not the miles. I like what Kirkland's on about there, I think, there, guys, because if you take away the stage breaks and the amount of time we're under yellow flags, it would actually shorten the time down and keep the distance, because I think, a couple of races ago we were an hour or so and 100 laps behind caution out of the 4-hour race we had.
Yeah.
That was at Bristol, wasn't
Realistically,
it?
I would be fine, okay, not fine, but finer with stage cautions. I don't know if that's a word, I'm going to say it is. I'd be finer with it if they just didn't count the caution laps for the stage break.
Oh, nice.
I would like that. If that is the one change, if we have to keep stage cautions, which I don't personally want to. I know they tried it with road courses a couple of seasons ago. And everyone was like, it's boring. Like, okay, then, well, you asked for this, so I'm not really that bothered. I actually liked it without stage cautions at the road courses. I actually really enjoyed it. But, I don't know, NASCAR fans don't like road racing, clearly.
I think, Joe, were you on the side that it was good racing, not having the stage breaks? I seem to remember the Kota. What is it, you or something about it? Bubba's Tampa Road. Go on.
Yeah, overall, when it comes to stage racing, I'm more of, I don't think we need the stage breaks, especially road courses, where, stage breaks sort of ruin the flow of the race and the strategy aspect. Same time, though, is like, I think NASCAR's at a level now where their fans are so much different than other motorsports fans. Maybe they do want that stage break, because we know TV likes it for commercials, and generally the stage break cautions are quite long when we talk about cutting down the time, especially on the road courses. Utilize the virtual safety cars. We've got more cars coming in pit road with Austin Cindric.
Pit road's going down. We'll have to pick this up later.
But picking up spots, Steve, 14 spots picked up since the green flag fell this afternoon. So the driver gets 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel here. Good stop for the 2 team.
Great look, too. That's how I'm used to looking at pit stops. That overhead just shows you the choreography from right to left. Pit road entry is going to be busy as we look at the top of the screen into sight. Here they come. You have the 7, the 47 of Stenhouse, the 7 of Haley, 22 of Logano, the Penske teammate to Cindric, also on pit road, Dave.
So Logano said that his car was free into the corner before it loaded up. So as it's getting ready to squat down, there's that look you like, Steve, into the corner, just a little bit too loose for Logano, so they'll make adjustments here.
This shows you the choreography between the fueler and the rear tire changer, what the priority is. Now we're on board with Reddick, running at pit road speed, coming down to the service of his crew, the 9 named Kim.
Yeah, and for Tyler Reddick, he made quick work of track position on the green, hitting from the 5th position after starting 12th. He just said, I was getting tight, especially to start the run as they put on those fresh tires, Sunoco fuel. You see Christopher Bell on the bottom of your screen. He said, slightly snug, but he thinks it's okay on the long run. Exit of 4 was the worst for the tightness, but then towards the end of that run said, balance is good. Marty?
You see Kyle Larson and Chase Briscoe coming down pit road all the way at the very back end of pit road. For Kyle Larson, he said, the car is good, but I just was so aero sensitive once I got up behind those two Gibbs cars. He wound up second when he was coming to pit road. Chase Briscoe said, I was really way too free, especially turns 3 and 4, and had a small vibration at the end of the run. What a great look at that #1 pit stall, Dave.
William Byron on and off the pit road, 4 tires for him. He told his crew just before he pitted the 24 car, I'm pretty decent here, so a good opening run for William Byron.
You may have noticed during that last break in non-stop that Kyle Larson got his way back by Briscoe, and he's easily beaten him off pit road. Here comes Hamlin, Marty.
Yeah, once he got the lead, he wound up leading 18 laps before he came into pit road. He said the car was just a little bit too edgy once he got out front, but that was his only complaint when he was in traffic. It was very good. Remember, Hamlin has a new front tire changer and a new jack man this weekend because of the suspension of this normal tire changer and jack man after the tire came off at Bristol. That was a clean stop, though, for the 11.
Let's see if the 11 can hold the lead. He had about a 2.5-second lead, but chose to run long. The 5 of Larson on board. There's Hamlin slipping, sliding, trying to get power down off pit road.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky coming out as well to get the gas up, and Hamlin's going to get past here quite simply by Larson on the outside into turn 3 there, Joe. It was simple, and it's all about when you pit here under green flag running, how you get that lined up. Hamlin just lost out on time, unfortunately. Larson's through.
Larson is through. Very curious to see, especially the pit road time from entering pits to exiting pit. What more time did Denny Hamlin lose? He's still within sight of Kyle Larson, but of course he's getting that dirty air impact. This is going to really show, I think, you may be better off throughout the race being first one on pit road rather than staying out later, unless you got a lot of confidence in your pit crew.
Just want to confirm that it is the 21 still coming out of pit road. Yeah, it is Josh Berry, the last one down there, who's now in pit lane from 5th position, as the order will try and redo itself. But Ryan Blaney has shuffled his way to the front of the field as we've gone in. This is lap 30, this is lap 40 of 80. We're halfway through stage 1 here of the Hollywood Casino 400. So far then, it's looking good. What do you make of it, Jack, from your point of view?
Look like a decent pit stop for Hamlin. He'll drop down, but everyone else will drop down with him, to be honest. We'll just wait for everyone else to pit, in my opinion. But Larson getting out ahead is not what that Joe Gibbs crew needed at all. Now Hamlin's going to be stuck in the dirty air of that number 5 car.
Pit road.
Blaney's only complaint a little bit too free, especially at the end of the run.
It's about Blaney.
Top box as Denny Hamlin starts to close in on Kyle Larson. Yesterday, Hamlin described the last mile and a half at Charlotte Motor Speedway as wildly entertaining and said we're going to see more of that today.
I really hope that's true, Joe, because we love the side-by-siders. Now we're going to see Briscoe going underneath the inside of the 9 as well of Chase Elliott, moving himself up into 4th position. Keselowski's the leader, but it's Larson v. Hamlin at the front.
Yeah, Larson, Hamlin, they're coming out of turn 2 right now. Still Hamlin the inside, but this battle between Briscoe, Reddick, and Chase Elliott, I mean, now you got Reddick on the inside, who is winless, the only playoff driver winless. In the bottom, Chase Elliott trying to make that middle work as they exit turn 4. They're going to be 3 wide into the front stretch.
Still over we go. That's incredibly tight, as now we're seeing side by side at the top. Hamlin down low, Larson up high. The 45, the 9, and the 19 in there. And now the 9's dropped back. In comes the 20 of Christopher Bell. Meantime, Larson reeling in. Denny Hamlin just gets to the back bumper and backs off as Reddick goes down low on the inside of the 19. Bell's trying to split the middle of the lane. Down comes the 19 to block him off. Still side by side though with the 54s that come out onto the line. Well, this is looking, the 45. This is looking really strong as they come over. Briscoe almost on the wall there as well, Jack, as Reddick goes through.
Yeah, really solid so far. Reddick and Briscoe still side by side here, and Briscoe does get through on Reddick. Reddick struggled, I think, last time out at, it was New Hampshire we were at last week, wasn't it?
Yes, last week, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, I keep forgetting because of all the different tracks I watch. I was watching a race at Martinsville last night involving the late models. That was an absolutely fantastic race.
Doesn't love
British
Martinsville.
Cup Series could do the same sometimes.
Actually, there's a great comment on that we'll get to, that we had to sort of abandon the mild chat for for the stages in a second. We'll swing back to it as Hamlin, technically the net leader, Kozlowski leading at the front, but is yet to come in to the pit stop. Just to circle back then to what was happening earlier on, I'm trying to find the comment to come through. Thank you, by the way, to Regan, who says, thanks so much for the broadcast.
Jeremy Bollins, the crew chief, keeping his driver out long. No major complaints, especially relative to the field. Brad just saying tight center was his biggest problem, but entry and exit, he said, we're good. I don't want big changes on the 6.
4 wheels change, a little bit of fuel going in as well, just enough to get to the end of this stage, and we'll see what happens as the 45 goes around the outside. So Reddick passes Bell with simplicity to come through. Where's that comment coming through about NASCAR? I can't remember who said it, and I do apologise. Here we go. Shari says, I think NASCAR should do a 24-hour race with all 3 series combined, like the 24 Hours of Daytona. Joe, is that doable to even maybe do a 6-hour race endurance as a special non-championship like we have the All-Star race, the All-Cars race maybe?
I just don't see that unless it's in a road course, because you can't do this on an oval. Maybe Pocono would work, maybe Pocono. But I mean, a road course, but then you go on a road course, whichever team, SVG. Can you imagine that team, SVG, Hunter, Zillage? Game over. Just, I wouldn't even show up.
And AJ Allmendinger.
That too, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's mentioned Connors there, didn't you, actually, before?
Yeah.
Name escaping me as I tried to catch back up as well. As we look at the history
11 cars
of
had a lot of success over the years, as you can see, where it used to be owned by Junior Johnson, arguably one of the most innovative team owners and NASCAR drivers of all time. I think until recently, until Denny Hamlin overtook him, he was the winningest driver in NASCAR history without a championship. I think he's on 50 wins, I think. I think Denny Hamlin has since passed him. That might change by the end of the year, though. I would like Junior to keep a record, though, because I think he is one of the most interesting people to have ever raced in NASCAR.
It's the fact that it's 50 wins. I can't even begin to understand how that's even doable in the modern, even in that era, not now. I mean, the way that Christopher Bell was going on at the start of the year, we all thought maybe it was possible, but what was it? How many ones? He's won 4 this year, hasn't he, Bell? Now locked himself through.
Yes. I see JJ Yaley Hamlin does. I got to mention obviously the part-time team of NY Racing. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of the backmarker type teams. Good to see NY Racing back on the grid again. That car doesn't look horrendously slow, to be honest, compared to what they have been. They're still a decent bit off the pace. But NY Racing are definitely getting more competitive at these 1.5 mile tracks.
I know what B Fox said as well about B Foss, I should say. Sorry. Look at all those Toyotas, and Joe picking up right what you said before the green flag fell. Toyota will probably end up winning stage 1. Well, 51 of 80, and it's Hamlin leading, but then you've got Briscoe, Bell, Reddick all in there, and Gibbs inside the top 10.
Yeah, you got all them in the top 10. They're looking strong. This is where I feel their strength is that initial fast pace. Kyle Larson has some pace too. But I think Chevrolet's strength is going to be is when it comes to the strategy aspect. And with Cliff Daniels, I mean, we saw how they got the lead. That's, I think, how you're going to see Kyle Larson try to battle with them. You got Chase Elliott. Really, the third stage, when he starts getting a little bit more crazy, I think that's where you're going to look for Chevrolet. Don't get in trouble. We don't need Kyle Larson to be going out spinning, making a mistake, because you're just going to lose it all to Toyota. Ford, I think, is going to have to be the big question mark. I mean, we're looking at Logano is now 18th already, Cindric 19th. We know Blaney's coming up. Where are they going to be by the end of stage 3?
Well, we're gearing up towards the first stage break of the weekend. As who's just come down pit road? Cody Ware, the 51. As we welcome you back to USA, 3 wide for the back as well, as we're seeing Kyle Busch getting lapped by race leader Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson in the 5. Days gone by, Jack, this used to be the battle for the lead of the race, but Kyle, as you mentioned earlier, just not having his week, day, month, year, anything you like.
He's not done much since the Indy 500. He's been getting it back, but he's definitely been in a slump since then.
Yeah.
But slowly and surely, he is becoming the Larson we all know. But so far he's not wrecked himself trying to go for a race lead, so not just yet.
Well, I thought it was about to then when he went down below the line. But yeah, I think Joe as well. Larson getting back into his swing of things now as well. He's desperate to look for that championship, but so is Hamlin. These two are the ones that we said should have won Bristol, but were miles off, and one of them retired.
Yeah, I mean, with Larson, it seems after that Indianapolis 500, he has not been 100% himself. He's even said in past interviews, like, he just feels like he doesn't have that full confidence in himself. Something has gone away since the Indy 500. Well, it was a frustrating attempt at the double.
Yeah,
we got caution out on the track. Cody Ware.
Has he blown a front tyre? Yes, he has, and he's broken the suspension. So that's Cody Ware, presumably out of the race for today. Front right suspension's gone. And as he just locked up, and he's hit the wall, obviously, but did the tyre blow out, or was he locked up and hit the wall? That's going to be
great for that 51. Having the Evil Knievel on the car this weekend.
Here it is. What's he going to do? I think, well, he's fourth car in picture.
He blows the tyre. He blows the tyre.
Yeah, that was straight on and blows the tyre.
Hadn't he just pitted?
Yes, I literally said he was just coming out of pit road, didn't I?
That tyre has the durability of a hypersoft tyre in F1.
Straight off into the wall.
I'm curious if maybe there was a vibration if they didn't get that lug nut completely tight.
Ooh,
and maybe he's lucky it didn't came off.
A whole lot of tires extra. 8 sets for the race.
I think
7
you're right,
brand
Joe.
new ones plus your qualifiers. That gives you kind of 2 extra sets for random yellows.
I think you're right, because the NASCAR official there just having a cheeky look. I think you're right. I don't think the lug nut was connected correctly. Oh, that's gone off. There will be a suspension for 2 races.
Yeah, if that tyre's gone off, that would be a 2-race suspension for the 2 crew members. To me, it would look more like a failure than it did an actual tyre coming off.
But this,
we need a better angle, though.
This will be at 2 critical races, Joe, coming up, of course, with the Roval in this schedule.
Yeah, you got the Roval coming up. That's going to be an intense race. I mean, that's why I think everyone, especially like Denny Hamlin, the playoff drivers, they want to win. You don't want to count on a win at the Roval. Especially, you know, everybody's going to be probably placing their bets for SVG to win that race.
So, we're behind the pace car as we're on lap 57. Now ticking into lap 58 of 18 stage 1. 210 to go overall of the 267.
One of our family members is driving with a lot on his mind at the moment, and that is Tyler Reddick. Not only has he got a lot on his mind because he's trying to stay in the playoffs and win a championship, but at home there's quite the challenge. And his wife Alexa shared this on social media. After a run around for months with pediatricians, I knew what was going on was something bigger. Always trust your mum gut. Our sweet second child, Rookie, was showing signs of heart failure that were being missed. Please pray for this sweet guy and that God heals his heart. With God, Rookie and his amazing doctors here at Levine's, I believe he can. We're in the cardiovascular ICU while we get some answers and work on improving heart function. I usually don't share our personal lives, but I'm hoping that you take the time to pray for him today. So, needless to say, all of our thoughts are with the Reddick family and the challenge ahead. Kim?
Yeah, and things like this definitely put things in perspective. And so I asked crew chief Billy Scott, does the workload or what you ask of Tyler during the week need to change because of this? And he said, right now, no. He said it was very much about getting through this weekend and then seeing if they need to make adjustments to Tyler's schedule to accommodate what he needs to do to prioritize his family.
Yeah, we think about competition, think about your athletes that, you know, we focus on what they do on and off the field, on and off the racetrack, but they live lives just like the rest of us, and they deal with challenges along the way. And obviously, this one is top priority.
Yeah.
You know, you want to make the playoffs. You want to, you know, have a chance to win the championship, advance. But there are things more important in life.
So the reason why this caution is somewhat prolonged, they had to go and grab the Evel Knievel 51 from Rick Ware Racing for Cody to take it back to the garage area. And again, this is what happened to Cody. Just listen.
Definitely some sort of tire failure or part failure on the front. Sounds like a blown tire. As you guys mentioned, he was just off from pit road, so you know, would you have to either rub something or run something over? Either way, the result's the same. Hard hit for the 51, but now that he's been removed from pit road should open this time by. It's been documented once already by Marty downstairs, but remember Denny Hamlin missing 2 crew members because of that loose wheel a couple weeks ago. They deferred last week. Under green, that can kind of be covered up a little bit. A lot goes into a green flag pit stops, but here under yellow with the 5 right on your bumper, we'll see if the pit crews can perform, Kim.
That's right. You see Christopher Bell, top left of your screen. He said, free it up a little bit, guys. Not too much, though, about a quarter number or a half number. We'll see what they do here for tires. They do have 4 on the wall, though, Marty.
Cliff Daniels told Kyle Larson, I know the 11 fired off better than you, but I really feel like we were going to be better on the long run. They're going to go with 4 tires. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin said he's still too edgy when he's out front, especially in turn 1 and off of turn 4. He also talked about a vibration. They go right side only on the 11. 4 tires for Chase Briscoe, who said he was a little bit too tight and wanted to undo part of the last adjustment.
We're in the round of 12, the second race of the round of 12 of these 2025 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Just one race to go before another cut is made. That's next weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Roval, where anything can happen. And for those drivers close to the line, they know that they need a strong day today. They can't rely on heading to the Roval in a precarious position.
A lot on the line here then as we start lap 60, 20 to go in stage number 1, our first caution, the 54, allowing a front right tyre hitting the wall there as well to come into it. Okay, Joe, this is your game with Grid Network as well. We'll drop the link to the Grid Network YouTube channel in the chat as well. Go and subscribe there for the post-race show and the Grid Encore on Monday. That'll be recapping ARCA series as well, the Xfinity and the trucks. The Grid post-show coming up later on. That's going to be 90 minutes after the NASCAR Cup Series race. We'll review all of the action here as well. And then, of course, join me, Kobe and Matt on Wednesday for the Grid Tonight show as well. But, Joe, who's your picker winner for today?
I picked the winner was Bubba Wallace in the Toyota camp. He knows how to do it here. Unfortunately, not exactly a good start with the car pushing compared to what he had yesterday. So right now, being listed as 20th place. Still early, but we'll just see what happens. Do you have to pick a winner?
Me? I didn't have one going into it, which is a bit of a shame now because I know it doesn't count with the rules. But I was actually thinking about how good Briscoe could do on a circuit that he likes from pole position after qualifying yesterday. But my heart's saying Briscoe, my gut is saying Hamlin, but mine won't pick and count either. Jack, what about you? Did you have one going in?
That's right, I literally just got back.
Sorry, who's your picker winner?
I would have gone Denny Hamlin personally at the start of the race, considering his success at this track in the past. I think that other drivers could have a shot. People like Larson, Reddick, I think could have a good shot at this. He's shown some good speed. Briscoe, I think, is a good shout. I think, honestly, if you said anyone other than JJ Yaley, you'd be in with a chance. Sorry, JJ, love you, mate.
That's... okay, yeah, I don't think JJ Yaley will ever win. And that's really harsh to say.
I hate that. Because he came exceptionally close once.
Once? When, though?
Do you remember? Who remembers the Coca-Cola 600 that Casey Mears won?
Oh, ages ago.
AJ Yaley finished second, and that was a fuel mileage race.
It's gone. Welcome back to USA, as we're watching on with the fans in attendance here, Kansas. Kirkland says, what are your thoughts on what if Prime had half the races? Do you think viewership would go up? It would go up. And I think ours would go up to begin with. Go on.
I don't care if it goes down. Honestly, like, the quality of the broadcast on Prime is just so much better. I've been seeing tons of people having a meltdown over it, but I thought the Prime broadcast is quite literally destroyed. It destroyed Fox. It destroyed TNT. It's better than NBC. It destroyed every single truck broadcast this season, which I've ended up just watching on mute because I just hate how the broadcasts are so much.
NASCAR,
especially when we've got one of the really good truck series in recent years, to be honest.
I've just found this. I'm not picking my nose, by the way. The boys can assure me here. I've used a tissue, but I've just found there's loads of dirt in my nose from the Briscoe stock cars. So it gets everywhere. JT, I know you're listening in the car as well on your way home. I'm not doing that again on dirt. That is ridiculous. I am still sticky. Right, okay, Joe. Prime might have it all. We're coming to the restart soon, so wait. We'll have to catch up with Alsa. I'm being told that we're out of time to fix that. We'll swing back to the Prime discussion momentarily as we are ready to go once more here. Stand by. What are we going to witness this time? Hamlin from Larson. Larson high, Hamlin low, Bell behind with Logano. Green flag falls, we're racing again with 17 laps to go in stage number 1. Hamlin gets a great restart. Logano chucks in down low with the help coming in further behind as well. And they all go 3, 4 wide through 1 and 2. Briscoe's the highest of the lot of them, trying to maintain the momentum. He goes side by side, almost to the wall, touching the back. Bell comes in low. It's Hamlin still leading though, Joe, as they swing into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Hamlin got the lead. Took 2 tires, so I'm really curious to see how it's going to do in the long run. Got that clean air, that's helping him out. Meanwhile, look at Chase Elliott making a 3 wide with Bell in the middle, Larson on the high side as they enter turn 1. Who's going to give? Who's going to take second place?
It's very tight. Bell's got the middle line. He's coming up to defend against Larson to swing back up, but Elliott's got him and chops off the pair of them. Coming down the back straight. That was beautiful from Chase Elliott. Now Briscoe has to lift off as Bell's had to come up high and Larson's gone down low. All 3 of them doing a myriad at the back. And through goes Logano. Jack back up into 6th position.
Oh, putting on a charge. It's the Hocevar all the way down there with Chastain trying to defend from the Chevy as Briscoe's going around the outside of both of them here. Look at that, we got a 3 wide there at the back. Look at this. I was told, by the way, before the caution came out, AJ scuffed the wall, it looked like.
So we'll keep an eye on what's going on with Allmendinger. Briscoe, that side draft not working out, getting a little bit of sliding through 3, picks it up at 4, coming into the triangle. Oh, Briscoe's completely out of control. Just got completely loose there, Joe. Has to settle in, but does get ahead of the 77 of Hocevar.
This is what I'm liking from Briscoe, just seeing him racing aggressive, hard, trying to get as much points. He knows he's not exactly safe in the playoffs. Yeah, he's above the cut line, but the prize winner and the Roval, he knows this is a great opportunity for him. Good on him, as it looks like Chase Elliott, using that low line, getting the clean air, is closing out on Denny Hamlin. We might have a race for the lead with about 17 to go, looks like, for stage 1.
This is fantastic stuff as they fly in. Elliott looking low. Hamlin's picked the middle lane, just wants to keep it run. Briscoe didn't get spun, he just lost control with the side draft wobble. Oh, and now, through goes the 38 down low, the 54 pie. They slipstream past the 17 of Christopher Buescher, who's running in 11th position for a split second. I saw Larson make a mistake, but he's still in the battle at the front with 11 and 9. But Buescher drops down the order then, and now the he's just blocking off the 54 coming into it as they attack again. Really strong performance so far, Jack, in this race. Stage 1 has not been as dull as we thought. Multiple pit stops, good runs, and then stage 2 is going to be quite entertaining.
Oh, for sure. It's cool seeing Chase Elliott near the front. He's not obviously been as great the last few years as we know he can be, but I think it's great seeing him. I don't want him to turn into that 1 win per season driver, though.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you on that. I don't want him to be a 1-win season per driver. I want him on the cusp all the time, having a great run and the action, as this is going to be an interesting momentum. I've just been shown an image of me at the Shout track, which is a dirt track, and I do not look happy being covered in mud, so thank you very much for that as well. Joe, you used to race them. How on earth did you keep clean?
Well, I mean, I got my old racing helmet behind me, actually. You had to tear off, but the old saying I always remember since a kid, if you have dirt in your beer, then we're having racing action. So you're going to get dirt everywhere. It's just one of those deals. That's just the nature of dirt racing, and glad you got to experience that.
I did. I'm still got it in my throat, and it turns out the nose, the hands, I think I'm going to need the world's longest shower at the end of tonight. And for truth, there's that's Hamlin getting back into Larson and Bell going back through. That was the restart, a replay of it. But yeah, honestly, I'm glad I got to experience it too. But there is so much mud on my trousers and shoes, and I'm literally... I don't know how I'm sitting down in the commentary box right now. I feel disgusting. My hair as well is literally like clumped together. It literally feels like someone... Have you ever had hairspray in your hair, anybody? Our female listeners and our male listeners, I hope you listen, you know. Just put your hair in, just put your hand in it and just try and pull. I'm pulling with the hardest as I can. You can probably hear my voice, the voice can see it. And I can't move my hair. It is unbelievably stuck. As Elliott stays in second position, 3/10 behind Hamlin, just to talk about the racing for a second. But it was good fun.
Always good fun. I mean, this is the grassroots of racing, especially in the United States, where you go to the dirt track. One of the things I'm sort of wish it could go back to was back in the 90s or 80s, I would even say the early 2000s, it was known. You go to your local short track Friday, Saturday night, you watch the Cup Series on Sunday. But when you had the Bristol night race, you had the Richmond night race, few night races, those short tracks will close because everyone will be watching the NASCAR Cup Series. Now it's evolved to where I feel like tracks can't do that no more. The economy, there's more night races, there's more events. If there was a way to go back in time, because I feel like that really just made it where you knew this is a big deal. It's a Bristol night race. We're not racing next weekend, but we'll be back 2 weekends afterwards. That was something I think was missing that would help the industry overall, as we're seeing a great battle between Elliott, Larson, and Christopher Bell's right there too.
Oh, this is very close, coming between Chastain. He's going door to door with Logano through the trial down towards turn 1 and 2, and Logano keeping on that high line, but it's brilliantly done, and Chastain moves up into 5th position ahead of Logano in 6th position. I'm with you though on short track racing, and Jack, I know you've got opinions on this because you've said it before. Kim Kuhn.
Get a base hit. Well, some of that patience is eroding. Take a listen to the radio.
This is on Bubba Wallace.
Oh man, I don't give a fuck about restarts. I want to crash into turn 1, lap 1 on restart, man. I want to crash. Stop it.
So that car was not good for the first portion of stage 1. They have not made it better for the driver of the number 23, Bubba Wallace.
So Bubba's still furious with that car, Joe, and it sounds like he's going to have a bad day. Bubba needed a good result. He's 14th, and he's coming to circuits where historically he doesn't do that well at.
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble in the Roval. And then, looks like contact Smith and Carson Hocevar in the middle of turn 3. Here comes another replay, Josh.
Yeah, just runs into the back. Hocevar gets sent up, and Zane Smith, I think, as well, Jack, just outbraked himself almost. It's like he had to apply the brakes coming in. He was too much speed on the low line.
Yeah, he gave him a nudge. Those two had an incident at Iowa, I think, earlier in the season, where Hocevar spun Smith out. So, I don't know if Smith meant to do that. I have no idea, but I feel like that'd be kind of mental. Then again, Eric did that at the Indianapolis race in Xfinity before he got taken out by Hill, so...
Sharky and Friends, hello guys, says 11 doing anything for a win of the 60. And Jen says, fun fact, the lowest level of sanctioned dirt track racing is limited to 4 cylinders, front wheel drive, sub 2 litre cars, and is technically run by NASCAR. So it's on my bucket list so I can truthfully say I'm a NASCAR driver. Do it. I mean, Joe, you count as a NASCAR driver, if I'm not mistaken. You'll be in the record books.
I mean, that's the thing. You get into the NASCAR record books, you could say you're a NASCAR driver. I know when I did the dirt racing, it was Capitol Speedway, Mitchell Raceway. they weren't NASCAR sanctioned, but now in Alaska, my home state, there is Alaska Raceway Park, so we have the late models. You have drivers that can say, hey, I'm a NASCAR driver. Really, in just about almost every state except Hawaii.
That's what I love about NASCAR. It's not just limited to the Cup Series. You have the Xfinity, next year the O'Reilly parts, Auto parts, whatever it is. And then you've got the Truck Series coming in with, as well. You have that ability to say, no, I am a NASCAR driver at any level. Anything else got the NASCAR stamp on it as well, Jack, as well, you know, with how you call our broadcast a lot of the time. It just makes it all so much more fun to follow. I bet right now you're watching another race that's going on in the NASCAR series.
No, I'm not, unfortunately.
Oh, right. No one's on today. Oh, right.
Not on right now.
That's the first time, I think, all season, actually.
Yeah, I wish there was, but, you know. The big late model race at Martinsville was yesterday, so...
Caution's out again. Yellow flag flying at the high stand. Why? Oh, that's why. End of stage one. Okay, that snuck up on us. That completely snuck up on me. I've never known that. That was such a quiet end to the stage. Denny Hamlin wins stage one of the Hollywood Casino 400. Larson second, Elliott third, Bell fourth, Chastain fifth, Briscoe sixth, Logano seventh. All the playoff drivers inside the top seven. Then we get Busher, Zane Smith, and Carson Hocevar rounds out the top 10. Round of 12, stage one complete here for the Hollywood Casino 400. For a split second, I thought, why is the caution out? And then I went, oh yeah, it's lap 80. That's how much we've got engrossed in our conversation. So, why is it being called the Auto Parts Series next year? Did we find out why O'Reilly's got the sponsorship? I know we did the Grid Network segment on it, but we never got confirmed why they chose them.
No confirmation we heard of. I'm just guessing it's something about a deal in place, and we've known there's a lot of rumors about what's going to happen with the playoff format, and not just the Cup Series, but other series. I can't help but think, too, is O'Reilly more willing to say, yeah, if you switch to a year-long season, we're not going to give much of a hard time compared to we want a playoff system. So, a lot of moving parts when it comes to such a sponsor, and it'll be interesting to see the O'Reilly Auto Parts cars, and I just feel like bring back something like the Grand National, so we could say there's trucks, Grand Nationals, and the Cup.
I agree, because it doesn't make sense really coming into it. Oh, this must be awkward for USA. The Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas Speedway presented by ESPN. Like, awkward. So there was a comment earlier on actually about should half the races be on Prime? I wanted to pick your brains on that as well, Joe, because we were all fans, weren't we, at the Grid Network, about Prime's coverage. It was superb.
Prime did a really great job with their coverage this year, and I know, as Jack had mentioned, they essentially destroyed Fox. Now, I recall how Larry McReynolds tried to say, oh, you're comparing apples to oranges because we're very different. You might be different as in they're streaming, you're on broadcast television, have more window deadlines and more sponsorship obligations. But just the quality of how serious they put that work into calling each race. I mean, even when it was TNT and you still had Alan Alexander, Dale Jr., Steve Letarte, a lot of people noticed there was a little bit of a decline compared to what we had before. So I think it's really interesting to see what they've done. And I think people would be more willing to say, hey, we could get stuff like that. We want to see it. We're willing to pay for it, to stream it.
Jack, is it a prospect that Amazon just suits NASCAR? There's no swearing restriction. It's a bit more free. You can drink beer live on air, as the boys were doing. Is it just that it's just more NASCAR?
The broadcast had more put into it.
Yeah.
It felt like they actually cared. Unlike a lot of the other broadcasts for me. I felt like they really put everything into that broadcast. They had great commentary, great analysts, a really good post-race show too.
Yes, the post-race show.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
It's an amazing post-race show.
Okay, Joe, starting with you, I'm going to put them in order, and I'd say Prime, NBC, Fox, TNT. I want yours after the break because we're going down to pit road.
The first one to hit is Chase Elliott. He has a nice, easy entry into his pit stall. He said that was better, but it's still not where he needed to be. Remember, he was loose, Kim.
Top right, Christopher Bell said I could definitely tell it was freer, and I think it hurt me on the first few laps, but after that, I think it's okay, so no major changes. Debate on what they were going to do during this stop. Code New York Yankees was the call, Marty.
Kyle Larson told Cliff Daniels, honestly, I felt like the car is pretty good. I'm not sure we should make many changes. He finishes second in that stage to Denny Hamlin, who gets the stage win, playoff point in the bank for Hamlin. He said, I'm still too free once I'm out front. The car is still too edgy, but that last adjustment was 60% of what I needed, and Hamlin will lose some spots here on pit road after winning the stage, and the 45 on pit road in front of you, Kim.
That's right, you saw that almost run-in with Christopher Bell after Bell only took right-side tires, so just another hiccup for the 45, which is not what they needed after an earlier mishap on pit road.
Let's remember, it was...
Yeah, missed his pit box there, Joe, as well, but it just came in too hot. Bell was already being released.
Yeah, we don't have the rules of like unsafe release or anything in the Cup Series, so that's just one of those deals. Fair game for Christopher Bell to try to get out. Todd Reddick, just the timing did not work out, lost a ton of position. Curious to see how many positions Denny Hamlin lost on the pit road, but he got 10 bonus points for winning the stage, so he has a fast car. It'll be a good test of how his car will do with the dirty air.
So, what would your top 4 broadcasters be of the Cup Series in order?
I would say the top 4 have to be Prime, and I think I would probably go the NBC, just because NBC USA are very similar. And then, oh yeah, TNT I would say 3rd, and then Fox will be the bottom.
We agree on that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. What's happened to Fox? It used to be the gold standard.
It's been interesting. So, of course, this weekend, some folks know I'm from Oregon, so we were watching a lot of the Oregon State, the hype up around it. But it was not on Fox. But just through watching the hype all week long from different broadcasters, channels, and then the comments, I've saw a lot of people like, well, Fox ruined the whiteout because they made it go on daytime TV because, oh, they know that's the best race. And I feel like, have we heard that story before with NASCAR? Oh, we don't want night races. We don't want this. And I feel like, yeah, Fox came in, changed the NFL. They have a strong presence, but I feel like maybe they're just a little bit too, you need to do this way because this is what the ratings will show positively on. Where I'm curious to see what Saturday night's game will show between the Ducks and Penn State. I was on NBC. I feel they did a great job. I think the competition is going to get really stiff, and Fox has to step it up, in my opinion.
Let's check to the chat to come into it. Joe, I know that Alaska had baseball in the summer. Do you go to any games? Adam's asked.
Yes, the Midnight Sun baseball game, especially the Alaska Gold Panthers out of Fairbanks, Alaska. You start the game at 10 p.m. Play past midnight. No lights. 24 hours of sun. I highly recommend if you're a baseball fan, check that out.
Oh, fantastic. Nathan says they don't have fun at Fox, all business. I think, yeah, that's it. There's no fun on the broadcast. It's
Pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? I feel like, at the end of the day, I want a broadcast to be like the ones we do. Just
I agree.
Like one fun, long broadcast.
That's what we like to give you, an ulterior coverage. It's the aim of JB Motorsports. And thanks to everybody who's tuned in as well. 10,000 already.
1,000 concurrent.
Yeah, 10,000 already watching in total. 1,000 go. Welcome everybody in. Hope you're enjoying it. It's been a great weekend so far as we check down pit road again.
Down pit road, not understanding that Christopher Bell was 2 tires, leaving this quickly. Almost contact. They both did a good job of working this out. Could have been much worse, as you mentioned, Steve. Let's listen to what they were saying.
Hitting here, 4 tires and fuel, most likely around the 20. Stop at normal. Clear. If the 20 was taken 2, that's what needed to be said. It is what was said. The 20's taking 2, he'll be gone. We got to check up for him. 10-4.
Oof. Bubba's, yeah.
I heard a lot of different things. Most likely around the 20, and then
the 23 as well. Was some radio coming
some disagreement and frustration. I understand the driver's frustration on the radio because he doesn't want to run into the 20. The spotter's in there. So in my experience, the spotter's job is on pit road till about 5 pit stalls away. Normally the crew chief then calls 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The spotter should give you an idea about cadence, and then the spotter clears it out. Billy Scott, Tyler Reddick been working together for quite some time. Fortunately, there wasn't, you know, contact, but you can imagine the frustration. Remember, Reddick was running inside the top 15, had to pit a second time because of a slow pit stop, already has no track position, now almost runs into the 20. So it's, you know, it's been a frustrating time, and let's not forget, this is back at Loudon. The 5 leaves after 2 tires, and there's the 45. Same thing again.
Same thing.
So you would imagine that this is something you would want to work on, because now here he is backing up into his stalls. So, and this has become more complicated because, look, right side stops are like 4.5, 5 seconds. I mean, they're not there for very long. It's kind of like a gas and go almost.
Well, what was interesting is that they knew that the 20 was taking 2 tires. So there was good communication between the spotters. Hey, we're taking 2. We know you're coming around us. If I'm the driver, if I'm Reddick, that's all I need to hear. Hey, he's taking 2. We don't know if he's going to be gone or not.
Yeah.
I need you to be watching for that, rather than telling me what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're telling, not showing, and not... yeah, it's not the right procedure to come into it at all. Let's take another look at it. This is Hamlin's stop. Looks okay so far. Tyre comes in. Ah, the rear right got stuck on the lug nut. That's what caused the problem there. Stage 2 with the Hollywood Casino 400. Bell on the low line, Harson high, and then we're coming in behind with Chastain and Elliott. We are racing once more here. 3 wide in the mid-pack, the 47 getting a little bit wide, splits in between the 17 as once again, do not Ricky Stenhouse Jr. the maneuver. He's done a nice move on the inside. We've made it go briefly 3 wide. But now we're seeing Larson battling with Bell around the high line. Larson's trying to keep that momentum on, but he's got no one to push him because the 1 and the 9 are battling in the middle of the lane, and we've got Hamlin coming in there as well. So Bell's got the lead of the race, Joe. Good restart.
Great restart with all that battling between Chastain, Elliott, and Larson. Look at Denny Hamlin. Got around those 2, working on Kyle Larson right now. So even though he may have lost those spots, he's going to be up there, and he's proven he's going to be tough to beat. If he doesn't get the race win, but gets 2nd or 3rd or 1st of the stage, he's going to be in great point position come to Roval as Kyle Larson looking on the inside of Christopher Bell exiting turn number 4.
We're told to stand back up in the commentary box by someone. Oh, that's why 42's gone around in contact with the 60 on the front stretch. 60 continues on. So this time Ryan Preece hasn't been turned into an aeroplane. Gets back onto the circuit. Caution out for a 2nd time. 42 continues on. Looked like, Joe, it was just a simple coming together on the backstretch. That shouldn't be a long yellow.
I don't think it'll be a long yellow. Don't think they crash into walls. I just think as they exited turn 4, there must have been a stack up or something, and they got squeezed. Here comes the replay.
So we've got the 43 coming in. I'm looking for it. Priest still in the middle of the circuit. 42 comes down low. And actually, it's the 60 just goes up.
Yeah. 60 drifts up the track, gets a little bit tight, and then gets into the back of the 42 there of John Hunter Nemechek. That one is on Ryan Preece. I'm too used to Riley Herbst spinning. But realistically, I don't think there'll be any major damage to either car here.
So listen. Yeah, they come out immediately. Just a small hit for the 43. And the 2 of Sinjak as well, actually coming into that. A little nudge. So watch out if Eric Jones is bumper damage there, Joe. Because I think he helped nerf them both around.
It looked very close. Tough break for John Hunter Nemechek. The last few weeks he's had some great runs here and there. Ryan Preece having a better season I think a lot of people thought he would. At least minimal damage. They shouldn't be mad at each other. I think they should just see like this is a racing deal. Restarts. But here's the key. Cautions sometimes breed cautions. Here we are. We're coming up to another restart. Are we going to see more chaos and continue that trend of 7 cautions or more, which really has been going since 2021.
3 at the moment on the board. Pace cars still circling out. They'll come to the choose. It's not going to be a long yellow. Everyone has just pitted. So we'll get this sorted very quickly.
Super frustrating for Tyler Reddick because he was running as high as 5th earlier in this race. And coming from 11th in the playoff point standings, he'd leapfrogged his way up to 9th. and just 1 below the cut line and only 10 out. And now he's some 50 points out, and he is 12th and last in the playoff standings.
Several drivers have taken this opportunity to come down pit road. Surprised me a little bit there. I was not expecting them to do so. So we'll see how that works out a little later. The 51 is officially out of the race, by the way. That's just been confirmed. So Cody Ware is a retirement. They cannot fix that front suspension in time. So we continue on.
Thing I'm curious about, Josh, seeing some of these cars that came into pit road, very few. They did mention they brought in extra tires here, so we have 8 sets of tires. If we have a period where we're just going to have more cautions, but if they could use this opportunity to pick up positions, you know, we're talking maybe 10 or 15 positions because you're mid-pack, then we start caution after caution, you're going to be up there towards further ahead. You may not need to use up all those tires, so this might be a good, interesting move for some of those cars that just pitted.
We'll see how this plays out, because Goodyear have slightly overreacted today in order to avoid an issue that happened at Bristol where the tyres were just giving up and they want to be secure. And let's not face it, they're not free, these tyres either. The teams have to buy them. They are not free. How much was it? 200 quid a pop? Something about that on the sale I read.
Not pricey, I mean, yeah, they don't just get it free, so.
I remember actually, when was it? It wasn't Bristol, it was another race last year where we had the tyre failures. It could have been Darlington as far as I remember. Yeah, there were so many races last year we were criticising Goodyear, but this year, praise where praise is, they kept that race at Bristol going because they worked out they were 50 laps short of tyres. So the race kept on going. I can hear something in the background chat there coming through. So in terms of playoff positions, Tyler Reddick, who did stop twice in that previous caution, is now down in 24th position, gaining back those positions, as Joe mentioned, from the others pitting. Let's go back to the office as we get ready for restart.
Many fans wonder what a day is like for the Legacy Motor Club co-owner since he's no longer full-time behind the wheel. Well, would you believe Jimmy is a carpool dad after breakfast and getting his daughter and her friends to school? Jimmy's day has only just begun. From working with his team in the shop, the company-wide meetings, to taping the Never Settle podcast, Jimmy's always on the go and striving to help the continued growth of Legacy Motor Club. To learn more about a day in the life of the Hall of Famer, visit Toyota Gazoo Racing North America and Legacy Motor Club on social media.
The Choose.
Let's talk more about the 11 of Denny Hamlin with Marty Snyder. What you got, mate?
Been a terrific day for Hamlin so far. He's led 57 laps and also had a couple of outstanding restarts, the last 2 restarts. But is there an issue with the 11 car? Listen to the radio just moments ago.
Throttle did just stick under caution here. Feet were off the pedals and it was going. Copy.
Oh.
So no panic yet in the 11 camp, Steve, but I want to go back to what Denny talked to me about yesterday. They have had such a great car here at Kansas over the years. Remember the spring, they were a really good car in the spring. They had a clutch issue, but he said, we have had so many mechanical issues here at Kansas. If you're Chris Gale, how concerned would you be with what just happened on the 11?
We're absolutely concerned, not only for the potential impact of the playoffs, but just what what that means for a driver at a track where you kind of roll out of the gas at 185 miles an hour. It's a dangerous situation, and you could almost hear it, Jeff, in Denny's voice and the tone. Not the fear of, hey, the throttle's sticking, but the sheer kind of crushing disappointment of, man, please tell me this isn't going to be a bigger issue.
Yeah, we really don't want it to be that bigger issue, as it very well could be. So, Bell's on the low line, Larson is high. Behind is Hamlin and Elliott. Chastain and Stenhouse coming in. Stenhouse on the low line. Chastain's gone high. They're forming up 2 by 2 very late, actually, coming into the tri-oval. Green flag goes back out to the restart zone, and we are racing once more. Good restart again from Bell. He's light years ahead. Last time to defend with Hamlin and Elliott together. The snaking in the mid-pack. Briscoe nearly gets sent up high. He's going round the outside now. Ross Chastain trying to see who got left behind. I think it's Chris Buescher who's now got on the inside. Joey Logano has taken it. Round the outside, Ryan Blaney. So he's in a Penske sandwich coming through the backstretch. Good restart there, Joe, but unfortunate there as well coming in from the 19.
That's one of those deals where when you got all the traffic everywhere, you can't get your lane going. You're going to be falling behind a little bit. Giving a shout out to one of the drivers, 7th place right now, Stenhouse Jr. having a great run. Let's see how he could hold up with that single car effort team as we're seeing. Look, fight action as Chase Elliott looks like trying to make a move on the outside. Blaine's getting around the 17 and the 22.
Yeah, and here we go. That's going to be Blaney moving up a couple of paces. Now Bush is going to try and push him to get ahead of Logano. Use him as a drafting partner to close up at the front. Battle for the lead. Larson has passed Bell. Elliott's closing in, but can't get through. Bell's switching from high to low. Gets the side draft, pulls back alongside, and retakes it into the race. Elliott's going up high. Meantime, Blaney and Logano are side by side with Buescher coming back in, but it's Bell leading, Larson, Elliott, Hamlin, Jack, as they come out of the triangle.
Was reporting, by the way, that his throttle was sticking under caution, so that might be something to keep your eye on here. He was sticking at about 20% under caution, so that might be a major issue if he can't get that fixed. It seems to be a big Joe Gibbs sandwich with a Hendrick filling right now in the top 4.
And thanks, I'm hungry. I've had a food as well today, really. I had a big breakfast, that was it. So, yeah, I literally walked back into the commentary box and that was it, as they come into it. But, Joe, good stuff right now happening between 4 of our playoff competitors.
Yeah, we're seeing some great battling up front with the top 4 of Bell, Larson, Elliott, and Hamlin. This is what a lot of people like about Kansas. You got different grooves here. You see Kyle Larson trying the low line, Chase Elliott the high line. Trying to get some clean air. You're not all just stuck in one groove like you are in some tracks. Denny Hamlin, there he is. This is going to be a 4-car race for the lead. It's going to be great stuff as this continues to develop. And look at Bubba Wallace working on Ross Chastain, trying to gain the position up to 5th place, considering where his car was earlier in the day.
Still going to be quite a strong performance then as this race continues. The battle, the curse, it's all looking mighty strong as the racing action will continue. This is lap 99. We're about to start lap 100 here of a bizarre weekend of racing action that we have witnessed. And I think you're right. Jack, what about you? I think Joe's right. This is going to be a 4-way battle, I think, for the majority of the race.
Yeah, it's just a Hendrick v Joe Gibbs battle. Joe Gibbs obviously hoping to sweep the top 2 series. They won in the Xfinity race with Brandon Jones. His 3rd win at Kansas. Anyway, here's a mind-blowing stat about Brandon Jones. 5 of his 7 Xfinity series wins have come at either Darlington or Kansas.
5?
5 have come at either Darlington or Kansas.
That's
7 wins he's taken.
taken.
Kind of a mental stat.
Yeah.
As Chase Elliott goes down the inside of Kyle Larson. Can he clear him? No, he cannot.
Nope, so Larson's going to swing back round on the high line. Completes that defensive manoeuvre to stay in 2nd position. Hamlin and Wallace closing in as well, by the way. So Bubba's still in this mix. Gap 2.3 for Bubba, but they're not. These two battling and drawing them in sector by sector. Hamlin takes the high line. And, well, Elliott's just open door, gone through there, Joe. That was so simple for Chase Elliott.
He made that look simple, and Chase Elliott has to be feeling pretty good considering a lot of times people talk about where is he? He's not winning races. He's not performing to the level we want him to perform. Here he is in 2nd place. Can he and that pit crew get something to battle against Christopher Bell or Denny Hamlin when we get to that 3rd stage? Right now, he has to be feeling pretty good. Just seeing how that car is working and trying to see where the track evolves.
24 of 85 in this stage as well as we ride on board with the Hendrick. Larson just downshifting. Oh, little fight there to control the wheel as he heads down the backstretch. He's in P3. Byron's now the lowest of the points runners of the playoffs as Reddick's moved up into 20th position as Bubba Wallace passes Kyle Larson. So, made that move stick. Okay.
Seriously, there might be an issue with Larson's car if handling's going away or something.
And Hamlin, we know had that stuck throttle issue, but yeah, we're now seeing this is just going, gone. Let's have a look at it. I just mentioned he twitched. What are we seeing here from Larson? Goes up high and really forces Hamlin to switch back down low. So that was a sudden change there, Joe, for Larson's direction on the track.
I'm sensing maybe that car might not be to his liking. There might have been a change or something they did in the pit stop where he does not have the handling of the car like he used to in stage 1. Could they fix it back in the next round's pit stops? Maybe. Or could this be something of the track evolving? Not seeing any surprises as he does get around Bubba Wallace again, so maybe he's found something, different line or something to get that position back.
So let's have a look. Yep. Chastain is closing on the back of Bubba Wallace. Larson stays ahead in 5th place. Wallace now, well actually, where are we going to put this on the monitor? Larson's moved ahead, yes, 4th, as you said, Joe. Yeah. Bubba's now getting back. Has Bubba got a problem here, Jack? Because he's, yeah, Joe, has he got a problem here? Because he's just dropping backwards and backwards and backwards. Can't be tyres, everyone's just stopped.
That's what I'm curious about it. Maybe they found something for that short term, because he was coming up. Got him up to the top 5, but now he's falling back down again. It's just really interesting to see how the cars are evolving to this track. Let's just see how he battles, trying to keep Ross Chastain behind him.
Keeping it beautifully done at the moment. Bell, Elliott, Hamlin, Larson, Wallace, Chastain, the top 6, all playoff drivers. Briscoe 8, Logano 9, 10 for Blaney as Bubba Wallace now moves down low into turn 3, breezes past Larson with comfortableness. Cindric is 18th, Reddick is 21st, and William Byron is in 22nd position. He's our last of the points players at the moment. Bubba, sorry, I thought it was already there. Bubba in 4th again, but was complaining earlier. Seems it's hit and miss with that car, the same as it is for Hamlin. So they're in the right position to be 3rd and 4th together. As we take back a look to by the numbers. Well, the 20 across that line with Tony Stewart back in the day. Also been home to a number of runners with Matt Kenseth, and then it became up now with Christopher Bell. I think Matt Kenseth was more the interesting number of the 20 compared to Tony Stewart. I know everyone says, oh, Tony Stewart, this, Tony Stewart.
I'm a Tony guy.
I like that song that I played a while ago, Tony Stewart, The Whiner. Joe, what's your...
He's funny, though.
He's funny, but...
He's definitely more entertaining.
Is it entertainment you
on the and off the track?
Yeah. What about you, Joe? Tony Stewart or Matt Kenseth?
I feel like for Tony Stewart, at 20 set him up for his career long term. You know, great career in the 20 at a Home Depot relationship. Goes off, start his own team. He could not have done that if he didn't have the success as Denny Hamlin gets around Chase Elliott for position. 2nd place now for Denny Hamlin. But if he didn't have that tenure there, you would not have a Tony Stewart of what we think of today. Kansas, he came in as RFK. Back then, Roush Racing was not exactly their level. Showed he still got it, just came up short on championship efforts. Unfortunately, we mostly remember for Wallen, Joey Logano at Martinsville. But I mean, yeah, at 20 ride, I mean, really, the only person that didn't have success was Joey Logano. And look what he's doing. Look at Joey Logano right now, just getting around Carson Hocevar for 8th place, and is a multiple-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, just leaving the 20.
So this is now going to be, can you make it to a green flag pit stop, which will be coming up soon. Here's the cut-off line. Chastain is -9. Bubba Wallace is -26. Cindric is -38. Reddick's -46. Briscoe is on the cutoff at +9. Logano +18. Byron +19. Elliott +22. Hamlin +40. Larson +46. And Bell is the leader with Blaney already advanced. So Bell would automatically advance as well coming into this one as a winner. Just one of these days I want a non-playoff driver to win in the playoffs, just to make it a little bit easier for us.
You would have liked the 2022 season then?
I would like...
First round, all 3 drivers that won were not playoff drivers. I think it was Eric Jones at Darlington,
Yeah.
Chris Buescher at Bristol, and I think Bubba Wallace at Kansas.
This is not the first race me and Joe have called together in NASCAR, by the way. We did a race at Nashville, which got rain delayed, and we were there all night. That was a long run. But that was that 23 or 22? It was 23, I want to say. I can't remember.
I think it was 23.
Yeah.
But then 24, I did some races with you all.
You did, yes.
And this is my first one, I think, or 5. So.
For Cup, I believe it is, yeah. Although I think you might have been on a USRN when we took their coverage.
Yep, that is correct.
Yes, yeah. Which has been on a couple this year to come into it. Well, this is going to be a run as Bell leads by 1.5 seconds to Hamlin, and the field gone a little bit steady. Penske looking in, it says Robert as well. Penske looking strong. Where is Logano? P8, Blaney P10, both inside that running order. And Logano and Briscoe, 7th and 8th in the cutoff points playing positions. Matt.
And why are playoff points so important today for Hamlin and the 11 team? Before the playoffs even started, he told us there's one race we cannot win on the 11 team in the playoffs. That's the Roval. Roval is next week. Hamlin already has a playoff point in the bank. And remember, Dave, we said he needed about 40% more the last adjustment. They found it. Hamlin's car is really good.
Chase Elliott started the day just 14 points above the cut line. That's why qualifying 4th was so important, to put him in position to get those 8 stage points at the end of stage 1, but also important, getting this car right. They made another adjustment on the last run because the car has been trending free. He's running solid in 3rd. Kim?
Talk about getting the car right. They have done work on that Bubba Wallace machine, currently running in the 4th position. Remember, he came in last in the playoff grid to this race. They know the situation they're in. They're aware, but they said it is not a weekend ender, not a mindset changer. It's okay to know the cards were dealt with. We have to do the best we can. They just checked in with Bubba, asked how the car was. He said, neutral, leave me alone, is what he told the team, Marty.
We saw Kyle Larson fall from 2nd to 5th on the restart, Kim. Anything wrong with a 5 car? Kyle Larson said, don't worry, guys.
Fine, don't freak out. I just done a bad job.
Of course, all good, man. Take it off. No panic here, no panic.
No panic, and Larson sitting in 5th, so the car is really good. Meanwhile, this pit stop cycle happening right now. Ryan Blaney is driven from the back of the field into the top 10, but he said he had a pretty bad vibration that was getting worse. So Jonathan Astor told him, said, I'm going to leave it up to you. You decide when you need to come to pit road, and Blaney said, that's enough. So pitting here, and you got to wonder, 46 to go in the stage, Steve's that can open the window for everybody else.
I think they're going to have no choice. No choice, Marty, to your point about coming to pit road. We see now the 23 of Bubba Wallace, the 22 of Logano, as well as the 77 of Hocevar, Kim.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, he just talked about the car being neutral at this point. Remember, very angry for the first stage. Seems like they've gotten that car right for Bubba Wallace, Dave.
Need to try to carry a little more entry speed both ends. That's what the driver was told by his spotter. He also gets these 4 fresh tires here for better handling. Above him, you see William Byron coming down pit road. This car was not in great position at all. He complained on the radio. In fact, he called it horrible. The adjustment they did last time, William did not like. Also, his teammate, Chase Elliott, pits from up in the top 5. Elliott will get 4 fresh tires and fuel here, Marty.
You see the battle for the lead, top of your screen between teammates Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson coming down pit road. The no panic Kyle Larson doesn't really want any changes with the 5 car. A little bit longer on the right side there for the 5 as the battle for the track on the track also comes to pit road between the 20 and the 11. You see Chase Briscoe at the very front end of pit road. They finally got the freeness out of that car. He said I was a little bit too tight to start that run, but it paid off at the end of the run. Meanwhile, Kim, here come the teammates, Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin.
Now you see him nose to tail. Now Christopher Bell will pull out. Oh, almost a little incident there with the 34. Christopher just needs to be tightened up. Got a little too free on those 2 tires, Marty, as they'll put on 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel.
Kim, it's interesting. Chris Gale told Denny Hamlin under the last caution, listen, when we have a green flag stop next, you can push it a little bit more. So Hamlin did that, 4 tires, no changes to the 11.
And the 11.
Wonderful pit stop battle as he'll really come out ahead of the 20. Well, let's just have a look. See, Bell's at the moment got the provisional net lead of this race over Hamlin, and then Chastain and Reddick. Reddick actually jumps ahead now as the field tries to reorganize itself. John Hunter Nemechek has the net lead at the moment, though, Joe, with more drivers due to come into the pit stop, but a smooth stop. Bubba Wallace actually I'm impressed with. He's ahead of the 11.
Yeah, great pit stop effort by that 23. I was watching the 23 pit stop, see if there was any adjustments. Didn't see any adjustments, so they may have seemed to have found some speed in that car. As we see Tyler Reddick now exiting his pit stop in another pit stop then. John Hunter Nemechek, Suarez, and Josh Berry. They're mainly hoping for a caution to come out, because especially Suarez, nothing going on. John Hunter Nemechek already has some issues. If a caution came out now, they'll make the pit stop. It could then use those fresh tires to get up towards the front as everyone else is running on the newer tires, wearing them out.
This is going to be a tactical time of the race to approach half distance, like 124, 143. This is Hamlin on the back of Christopher Bell. This is an old image as Hamlin goes right round the outside. Bell gets the better drag, and was that Hamlin deciding he wanted to come down pit road? And yes, he was, and Bell decided the same thing. Put back down, that was earlier on. Bell comes in, blocks the 34, takes all 4 tyres this time by Bell. But yeah, Joe, it's a bit messy there coming in as well for Bell. It's not the smoothest stops he's had in his career.
Definitely, I'm thinking they were following, like, okay, what's the other team going to do? Are we going to stay or are we going to come in? They did it right before the commitment cone. Well, it's not a cone there, but the commitment area where you have to be committed to pit road or the track. No harm, no foul. As Bubba Wallace now racing side by side with Denny Hamlin, his team owner, for position. This will be the lead as Priest has made a pit stop. So it's only Suarez ahead of them now. So whoever gets the lead of this battle will be the race leader after Suarez has stopped.
They are running incredibly hard. Bubba's on the outside line down the back stretch and will keep the lead of the race. Hamlin is looking now to the high line. He doesn't want to take out his team driver, but he's got no problem taking out his teammates, as we saw a couple of rounds ago. Over the line then, it's going to be Bubba Wallace who needs to keep a lap. Go on, Jack.
Well, if he took out his teammates, that money's not teammates, drivers, then that money's coming out of his own pocket. So I doubt he'd want to do that, to be fair.
Well, let's just see, because right now he's going door to door and he has got ahead of the 23, but then goes up the track, lets him try and swing back in, Jack.
Yeah, overall it's good racing. I think it's nothing out of the ordinary, hard physical racing, which isn't expected here in NASCAR. But as they're doing that, this is allowing Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson to close in. Right now, you got Bubba Wallace using on the middle line, Chase Elliott on the low line as they exit turn number 2. That's the thing. I think this is something where you got to be mindful of. You could race now, Denny Hamlin, or just follow suit and try to not allow the Chevrolets to catch up to you. We talked about this in the pre-race show over in Grid Network. It's going to be Chevrolet-Toyota battle. Highest running forward right now is Joey Logano in 10th.
This is looking very
penalty,
strong.
by the way.
Go on.
Penalty, Eric Jones, uncontrolled tyre. That's a pass-through penalty.
Yeah, that was coming, didn't we? Oh.
I'm shocked at just how much better that Bubba Wallace 23 car has got, honestly. I really am. That car was like terrible at the start of the race. It's turned into what I think could be a potentially race-winning car.
Could Bubba lock
Incredible
himself?
job by the boys at that team.
Could Bubba lock himself into the round of 8? Even for the Roval, he's getting very close though, battling with Kyle Larson right now. Hamlin's the leader, Elliott second, Wallace third, Larson fourth, Bell fifth, Chastain sixth, Briscoe is seventh. The field has now organised itself from the final pit stops. We will turn to the battle screen with all the timing information that we need to have access to. And this is looking very strong indeed in this race as we go on. Bubba's going down low to get ahead of Elliott. And now, second place is Bubba Wallace's. Hamlin's trying to sweep back in. Reel him in on the double toe. Hamlin's almost brushing the wall. Super close, and Bubba's pushing Elliott in the wall, trying to find a space. Goes down low to block Larson. The old block pass
Not
maneuver.
a smart block.
No, it was not a smart block. I'm with you. Go on, Joe.
I was going to say, that was something else. We saw it looked like Chase Hill may have just gotten so close to the wall out of turn 2 that he kicked up some dust. Bubba Wallace went to the inside, call Larson, oh, I'm going to try to go in there. Bubba, intentional or not, really put it to where that just prevented Kyle Larson from having a good entry into turn 3. Kyle Larson now has great momentum, excellent turn 2. We're going to use that low line against Bubba Wallace.
This is pandemonium racing right now as Bubba goes high. Larson can't come up to defend him at all, and Bubba's just got that momentum to continue pushing harder, faster, more momentum, more action, more everything as it comes under braking once more. But Larson's jumped ahead of him down at 2, blocks him off coming down the back stretch there, Jack. Bubba's got to be smart here.
Yeah, Bubba's going to try and go around Larson. All I can say is, don't pull blocks like that, guys. If that happens on a local short track, you are likely being turned for it. Just do not pull blocks. I know it's a stupid thing to say, but I hate people blocking like that. I really do.
I'm with you.
Then it's just my stock car racing etiquette thing kicking in.
It's that type of night, unfortunately, isn't it? How long? Well, we've passed halfway. This is half distance of the Hollywood Casino 400, 200 miles down, 200 to go. Now moving past into the second half of this race. And Joe, I think we're in for an interesting one because the green flag pit stops have been exciting today.
Yeah, green flag pit stops have been adding a lot to the race. Right now, I mean, considering the number of cautions we have, this could be something where I think the rest of the stage is going to go caution-free, unless a tire issue occurs from somebody. That's going to set up for, well, we'll see in the third stage, potentially another green flag round of pit stops. But, depending on the cautions that will come out, especially after that restart starts off the third stage, you could have a situation where you might have to do a pit stop under your caution, then a green flag pit stop, and then you might be in the predicament where you're right on the border of finishing the race or running out of gas, fuel mileage. So that could still be a factor to watch for, depending on how the rest of this race plays out with caution flags.
Riding now, looking further back. So we're riding with Larson, looking back to Bell. Now we're jumping off with the 2. Pit road.
And all three, when 2 of the 3 Penske cars had issues, the 2 was the one that did not, but they also forwent their final time on the practice field just to make sure they weren't pushing things too far. That looked like a corporate problem. You can't get a lot of straight answers from these guys because they're doing a lot of things cool, but at the same time, it caused all the teams to look very hard at what they were doing on today. And you guys know when you change one thing on a car, to change your philosophy, you've got to change it all the way around. So Austin hasn't had a lot to complain about today, but also has not been able to find the speed to run up in front, Kim.
Tyler Reddick running in the 19th position, and the expectation for 2311 is to go deep in the playoffs, and they are teetering on falling short of that expectation currently as they run. Tyler Reddick minus 44 to the cut line. They've had multiple mishaps today, and crew chief Billy Scott told me we have got to execute on all fronts. They've fallen short on that today. They were treating this like a must-win. They said they could not be conservative. They need to be aggressive with decisions, especially in the final stage, Dave.
William Byron runs in the 22nd position. I told you he wasn't happy about his race car. This was a report before the last stop.
Just a back out, late exit, that's it. Nothing, no turn, nothing. I have nothing. It's honestly a bad adjustment because now I can't get off the corner at all. Terrible.
So he didn't like the adjustment. Rudy promised him we're going to do something different. When you get back in here, please try your best to keep that car on the lead lap. That may be a difficult task.
Cheers, guys, down there in pit road. As we now watch Bubba Wallace running, what was his last lap time by? 32.392. So he's running more or less with the leaders, and he was bumping back in again. That was that manoeuvre to block again. Joe, what did you make of it? Was that fair from Bubba to come down low? Was he just taking a normal racing line? Was Kyle a bit too late there?
I think it was fair just because he got tucked in behind Chase Elliott. Thought, okay, I'm not going to get the momentum. I want that bottom line. And just so happened Kyle Larson was there. Of course, now Kyle Larson has gotten around Bubba Wallace, so Kyle Larson 4th, Bubba Wallace 5th. One thing I want to point out, they mentioned about William Byron and how that car just seems to have nothing. You got to look at his results. He has not had a whole lot of success as of late. I mean, granted, 3rd place in New Hampshire is great, but a lot of finishes outside the top 10 until you go back to the race that was after Iowa, Watkins Glen, a road course. Yes, he won at Iowa. But besides that, the only other win is Daytona, so I feel like this team's still missing something. Rudy Fugel under heat saying he may have made a bad adjustment. That means when next time they come to pit road, they got to work on reversing it and then maybe a little bit more. You got to be careful following the temperatures of this race. Has the track evolved? Will the car come to you eventually? We got long runs. I'm not so confident we'll have so much long runs in that 3rd stage as Bell continues to stay ahead of Chase Elliott as he makes that pass. So is Hamlin, Bell, Elliott, Larson, and Wallace your top 5.
I'm with you, Joe, because we're not seeing that many long stages at the moment, are we? We're seeing constant green flag pit stops, and they're changing the tyres every opportunity they get. So, Jack, is stage 3 going to be exactly the same with just smooth sailing, or are we going to have a few more cautions brewing?
This race is going surprisingly quickly, honestly.
Now you've done it.
Yeah, I know. I want it to be a bit more chaotic, to be honest. It's been going surprisingly. It's not like it's a bad race. It's been a good race.
It's not a classic, but it's smooth.
It's nice. But you've got to remember, this is the same Joshua Birch who was saying we should make the races shorter. Yet this race is going perfectly smoothly so far.
Look, I've been awake since 1:30 a.m. Today I have covered Moto 3, Moto 2, Moto GP, the World Endurance Championship.
That's Marc Marquez, by the way.
Yes, well done to Marc Marquez. And now NASCAR. And Omi Megan covered the World Superbikes. And I've also been at Briscoe's, getting dirt thrown at me. Literally. I'm sitting in dirt right now in the commentary box. If you haven't seen me on cameras yet, viewers, I was at the Briscoe's today. We'll come up to the Combines cam so you can see. I'm covered in dirt everywhere on me. Dirt everywhere. My coat is full of dirt. Everything is. As Larson goes to the inside line and gets ahead of Elliott for 3rd position. Elliott's trying to fight back, coming into the trial section. Will he have a little bit of a traction to come through? He's pushing him. See, look, the fender's coming up there as well, Joe, as well, to stop the car bouncing around through the corners. That's how much the aero is affecting the 9 car. He's now had to go down low.
Yeah, you go down low to get that clean air. Try to get the momentum. You always get more momentum when you exit on the high side compared to the low side. Low side is just simply the shortest way around. Kyle Larson's always good at that. Now here's Chase Elliott trying down middle lane because he got down Suarez in the low lane. But once again, Kyle Larson's still ahead, trying to keep Chase Elliott behind in that dirty air. Overall, I felt this race has been good. We've been seeing plenty of actions. The pit stops, the green flag racing we're having. Kyle Larson really close to the wall as he actually kicked up some dust. This is a race I feel like when it comes to the playoffs, these type of tracks, we don't really need to cut down their length. And some of the other tracks, especially the ones where we visit twice, we don't need 2 400-mile races. We don't need 400 miles at Texas.
I agree.
That's right.
We can have 1 500-mile, 1 400-mile.
Oh, that's just torture. That's just torturing me. So what, 500 miles of spring Bristol or 500 miles of autumn Bristol? Because I take autumn Bristol every single day.
500 miles of tyre wear Bristol.
Yeah. That was fantastic. Larson is rubbing the wall. He's done that for a couple of laps now. He's taken
the Larson line.
Yeah, that extreme high line. And he's just blocking Elliott and Wallace at every opportunity. As there's Hamlin
Can you
leading.
tell me what happened in the WEC race quickly? Because I just saw on my Instagram that Alpine won.
Alpine
What
did
chaos had to occur for that to happen?
It was an interesting race where everything went wrong for everybody. Because everyone thought it was going to rain, and then it ended up being perfectly dry. So all the setups that the team have made, predicting the rainstorm, didn't happen. So everyone had to then navigate 6 hours of dry running at Fuji.
Oh, congrats to Alpine though.
Yeah.
Isn't that their first WEC win?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Outside of the LMP1 era, which I don't really count that.
In their hypercar era, it's the first, yes.
That's cool. Really good for them.
We also got our first African winner in the LM in the GT category as well coming today.
Nice. What country are they from?
I do not remember because I was not on the broadcast at the end of that show.
I'll check.
I know that will be the latest in our Grid Encore on Wednesday's Grid Tonight show with Matt White. Bring it up with the Grid EPI updates. And Joe, that EPI update's been looking very strong recently, isn't it?
It has been. We've been seeing a lot of action. I mean, you had the lead change 2 weeks ago. The 6th of the year. Very competitive. And then Nick Tandy, Philippe Nasser fell out of the top 10 after starting off with like an unbeatable season. So lots still to play for the Endurance Performance Index. You know, Matt White's definitely going to have season 6 lead changes compared to the grid rank where Alex Palou just dominated and clinched it. It really shows that there's a lot of good racing, good competition in the sports car world.
It's been a wonderful season. It's surprising me that it's nearly over. 7 weeks today, and everything ends for motorsport with the end of the Formula One season, and that wraps up everything with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where, let's face it, Max Verstappen will be crowned a 5-time world champion because the two McLarens are 2007 in it at the moment. The 07 curse seems to fight back every 20 seasons or so, which is quite funny. Riding on board now with, well, that's Bella alongside, so I've got to assume that this is... Well, who is it on alongside? Because that's not Larson, it's not Elliott, it's not Bubba, and it's not the 45 either, Tyler Reddick. Reddick's down in 16th position, not a lap down. That is... got to be... Is that a replay? Let's listen in.
Got tight, leaving the corner. Had to come out of the throttle. Still made contact with the wall. You can see the 5 of Kyle Larson getting by him. The 20 just got by him.
Is that Ty?
So Larson's been able to leave his teammate behind. He's been able to edge away from Elliott.
Ah, we were looking at Riley Herbst, who's running in 31st position. There we go. Took me a second to work out who it is. Hamlin lapping the traffic then, Joe, with 10 to go in stage 2.
Yep, coming up to the end of the stage, the number 34 going a lap down. Really, when you're looking at what to do in this situation, getting that free pass will be very key for the 34. To have a good race, Todd Gillen likes to do that. Ahead of him, Brad Keselowski. Not exactly having a good day. I know we talked about on the pre-race show. Brad Keselowski comments on how with the next gen era, with the lack of practice, you almost have these default tier level manufacturer teams of Gibbs, Hendricks, and Penske being essentially the top level for each of the manufacturers, and then everybody else trying to get data and just sort of scrapping to find it. So again, I think it's showing that there is a little bit of a gap between the top teams and bottom teams, despite having access to the data. Keselowski saying it's not that easy.
It is never, ever, ever that easy, is it? Coming into it, you can have all the data in the world, perfect predictions, perfect analysis, and the random element that is motorsport makes it work. Let's go down pit road.
One goal today, and that's it, playoff points. But starting in the back, kind of figured I wasn't going to get playoff points today, so I turned this into a 400-mile test session. The Cup Series teams have never run this right-side tire until today. The next race will show up at Vegas, and Hasser told me I think Las Vegas is the most important race in the playoffs other than the championship race. So do you kind of follow that logic with Jonathan Hasser's team to kind of say, hey, we'll take these 400 miles today here in Kansas, maybe it'll help us in Vegas in 2 weeks?
Well, two things. One, I think it's very important to not just take weeks off. I don't think you can just take weeks off and go through the motions and expect to be able to tune it up when it matters. So I think that test session concept, Jeff, keeps the engineers, the driver, everybody with a very specific task at hand. Let's go prove we know what we need in a few weeks when we head out west to Vegas.
That's going to be a fun race, isn't it, Joe, when we head to Las Vegas at the Speedway. A high-banked, very fast circuit, and the Cup Series goes well there.
It always seems to be a really good track, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You know the conditions are usually pretty consistent unless you get a cloudy day, which it does happen in Las Vegas. Cooler temperatures with this tire, it'll be really fun to see what happens, and what an effort by Blaney's team. I mean, if they're treating this as a test day, being 9th place on test day, really good. You got 5 laps to go in stage 2 as you got Joey Logano getting around Ross Chastain for position. So overall, the Penske teams, they're showing they got potential, but still got William Byron in the back, 23rd. Austin Cindric back there as well too. They're struggling.
So still keeping it in. With 5 to go. Just want to point out that the driver tracker is public. You could all see the driver tracker on the NASCAR app. The timing data that we have, that's all provided to us by NASCAR themselves. As a heads up. People asking, and including my favorite screen, which is the laps and rundown. Which you'll see in a few moments' time when we go to the points and who gets the free pass. I love that laps and rundown screen. It's one of my favourites. I've got it up in the commentary box on my top right monitor. We've got the timing screen just here alongside us that you see back at home as well. Still 102. Go on, sorry, 162. Go on, Joe.
Well, I was just gonna say that's sort of the nice part of the internet, the access. You could find the live timing. Not just for NASCAR, IndyCar, multiple motorsports, and it just really adds a new sense of following, along with the watch along here where, you know, we're interacting with people in the chat room. This is not just watch on the TV. Oh, we're back on commercials because we got to hear from Liberty Mutual and that emu, which I got sick and tired of during the Penn State Oregon game yesterday.
Yes, even we've seen that myself actually during the Thanksgiving Day parade. That drives with the wall. Which we do watch over here. We do watch the Thanksgiving Day parade at Macy's, and we do watch also the American football. We always, me and Megan always make sure to watch 2 games a year live. The Thanksgiving Day games and the Super Bowl. The rest we have to watch highlights for, because we're always so busy. 1 to go. This is it then, the end of stage number 2, and it's going to be Denny Hamlin who's going to run into more and more stage points, exactly where he needs to be at the moment. The top 9, all playoff drivers. Bowman's going to be the last one to pick up playoff points. Well, this has been normal points really coming into it at the end of this stage. Denny Hamlin wins stage 2 of the Hollywood Casino 400 from Bell, Larson, Elliott, Briscoe, Wallace, Logano, Chastain and Blaney. And then Bowman completes out the top 10 as we go to our 4th caution of the night. And the free pass, by my calculation, should be Brad Keselowski. And it is, indeed, Brad Keselowski. This is that screen I was on about earlier on, by the way, the laps and rundown screen. This gives us information about the entirety of the race that you don't see back at home. It's how we monitor points as they run. A summary of the race, which gives us the average speed, the time of the race. If we've been under red flag, it's the red flag clock. Laps in terms of laps 166 to go, 101. Laps of the stage, well, 101. green. We've been green for 150 laps. Only 16 laps under yellow today as well. That's one of the shortest of the season, actually. Cars, 36 running, 5 running on the lead lap now, as you can see, 16. No cars are behind the wall, but 1 is out. As you can see right at the bottom, it tells you who's out, with the 51 being out. Behind the wall, that is what BTW means. We've had 9 leaders in total in this race. The 11, the 20, the 19, the 99, the 6, the 21, the 12, the 5 and the 42. Of course, but 11 lead changes in total, where it's gone from the 19, the 11, the 21, the 12, the 6, the 11 again, the 20, the 5, the 20 again, the 42, the 9, and then the 11 again, coming through on the board. Gives us our current lap, and then the complete laps, and the blue means who's out of the race, and it goes yellow from the pits as well. And then, of course, it tells us if we go yellow or green on the monitor. That's how the laps and rundown screen works. You want to know the driver tracker, which we go to during pit stops and commercials. Okay, Jack, what did you make of stage 2? He's not here. That's interesting. He's not in the box. Joe, what did you make of this one?
Stage 2, I mean, we had that caution. The question then became, well, will we have a lot of cautions? We didn't. But here we are. We're going to be entering this 3rd stage. So what I think you're going to be looking at is you need to have a good, clean pit stop. Gonna need that clean air. So I'm gonna be curious to see who will go for 2 tires in this stop, especially somebody midfield. So you could get 2 tires, and then let's just say we have a caution on the restart in a shorter run. If you could go from the mid pack to top 10, that could be a big deal, especially with clean air being an issue. But overall, I think from stage 2 standpoint, a lot of teams just seeing what the car is doing, what they can pick up, and here we are entering the 3rd stage and next round of pit stops.
Let's head back then to our colleagues at USA as we look over at Kansas. 100 to go. Start of stage 3.
5-degree day here in Kansas for this playoff round. Pretty amazing. Quite warm and unexpected, but we will take it. And have a look at this. Denny Hamlin will take the points that he's grabbed today, Jim.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys in the playoffs have earned stage points today, but 3 have not. William Byron, Austin Cindric, and also the 45, but Tyler Reddick, no stage points.
Tyler needed them big time. The day started so promisingly, but some pit road hiccups, unfortunately, have put him in a tough position. Speaking of pit road, it is open. Here we go, Dave Burns.
4th place for Chase Elliott there. You saw the points he's earned on the day. He said it's the best it's been all day, but I still have the same issue. He needs it to live a little bit longer. He said, I've been making it work, but I've been pressing it pretty hard, Kim.
Christopher Bell finishes that stage in the 2nd position, said, I need a number. We probably should keep it on the free side, though, for this next run. They'll put 4 fresh Goodyear tires on it after an air pressure adjustment, Marty.
Kyle Larson said the balance is not bad. This car is just very traffic sensitive, and honestly, I need to manage my runs a little bit better. Denny Hamlin wanted playoff points today. Well, the 11 team has maxed it out so far. He said we're better on exit, now tight on entry, and that substitute pit crew, they come in with the lead and they hold serve here on pit road.
Last weekend in New Hampshire, we kicked off the round of 12. And boy, what a day it was for Ryan Blaney. We are 2 stages down, 1 to go here in Kansas. And next week in Charlotte, the Queen City, it's the highly unpredictable Roval.
Jack's back with us as well. Jack, what did you make of stage 2 as we build up now to stage 3?
It's been smooth so far. Not blockbuster, but also not necessarily boring. It's been interesting so far. I think realistically, there's about like 5 or 6 different drivers I could still see winning this. All of them are either in Hendrick or Joe Gibbs though, so it'll be between those 2 teams. Maybe Bubba Wallace as well. Down to the pits we go.
They've gone to ad break. That's really, really annoying with half the field coming down pit road. Let's hope they return shortly to come in. But we've got them open on the battle screen. Should be just a simple stop here, Joe, shouldn't it, as well? Just a couple of tyres and away we go. Don't need the complete 4. We only stopped about 20 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about getting the tires because everyone's going to be getting fresh tires. You don't want to be the lone car out there. We're going to have about 98 laps to go, so I'm anticipating 95. So there's going to be the green flag pit stop somewhere in there. Then the question is, when we get cautions, or excuse me, if we get cautions before, how soon do you stop to get tires again? Because if you stop too early, you're going to be coming up short. But if you wait the long game, go too long, and we don't get a caution, you're going to be in a bad spot. So it'll be really interesting to see what the crew chiefs are going to do with the stage.
So this will be an interesting run then. 98 to go. We're ticking down the laps one by one. The field all organised together. We'll see how it goes. Green as soon as we come back. Let's check in then with our colleagues at USA as we tick over to lap 170 and 97 to go in this stage of the event. As they will continue to run into it. Hamlin now leading after winning that previous stage from Elliott, Bell, Larson, Briscoe, Wallace, Chastain, Logano. Then it's Blaney running in 11th, Redding's running 14th, and Austin Cindric running 23rd. William Byron running 27th. He's the lowest of the playoff drivers as things currently stand. Let's go back over to USA.
Kansas Speedway, the spot for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs presented by Valvoline to continue. And what's it like? What's it like being a driver in the playoffs, and what do they think about their chances?
This is our year because it's the strongest we've ever been.
From a speed standpoint, we've been as good as anybody.
If we execute, we can do it.
Pretty much had everything go wrong, and it hasn't phased us yet.
I feel like we're even stronger than what we've been in 23 and 24.
We're battle tested and better than what we were when we were winning races.
Am I, a favorite? No. Do I think I have the tools and the experience? For sure.
Did we manage it the best or not?
Just the gains and the improvements I think we've made in the last 12 months.
You got to be willing to go out there and grab it. So if we want it to be our year, we better go grab it.
Interesting to hear those sound bites back to back to back like that, isn't it? Just their thoughts, their feelings, their honesty.
You work a lifetime to be in a position to win a championship, and you know that you're going to have to be better than you were even when you were really good in the regular season. You're going to have to be better because everybody steps it up. Joe Logano said it well. You're going to have to go take it.
Go get it, yeah.
No one's going to give it to you.
All right, Mr. Burton, you're Denny Hamlin. You're in control of this race. When it's time for the choose, where are you going?
They've been to the bottom the whole day. Like, the bottom has been the way to go, which is a little unusual for mile and a half. It seems like most mile and a half people pick the top. But so far, the bottom has worked well.
Talk about counting every point. 11 and Denny Hamlin on his radio was asking what the fastest lap of the race was. The Xfinity fastest lap currently held by Denny Hamlin. Lap 2 at a 30:57. I think, Jeff, you talked about how the track kind of gets better. I think Hamlin's thinking front row start. It won't be on the restart, but come around the first full speed lap would have a chance if he was free and clear on these new tires, Dave.
And Steve, coming into the day, the 24 William Byron was second on the playoff grid, 47 points ahead of the cut line, but they've not had a good day. So they lingered on pit road. Rudy told his driver that they have lowered the front end of the car and took a little bit out of the left rear. So, Steve, what are you looking to do to the 24 here?
Well, one thing that really changes the balance of these cars aero-wise is the front height. And the only way to do that is to take the front tires off and adjust the shocks yourself to raise or lower the car. So I would imagine it's a major platform shift that they're looking for the 24. So take the time to do it now. We saw the
last green flag pit stop was around about 40 laps ago, not too long at all, coming into it. So we're getting ready for the restart here. Joe, what are you thinking as we already start stage 3?
Well, as we enter stage 3, I think you got to be aggressive on the restart. So don't be surprised if we see 3, 4, 5 wide. Don't be surprised if we see contact, because this is going to be a key restart in case we go all the way to the next round of pit stops. We're about to get going.
Green flag is out. Stage 3 is underway for the Hollywood Casino 400 with Hamlin down low. Elliott up high. Then behind is Larson, then Bell. Then it's got Briscoe and Logano. Logano's gone down low. Briscoe's sent it up high. The field's starting to spread out a little bit as they come through. down the backstretch. Everyone's behaving themselves now, which I quite like. But Briscoe trying to go for third place, trying to take the lead as well. Underneath as well of Hamlin. Hasn't worked out. Bell's trying to come down to block Larson and then take over third position as they come through. Oh, and straight down with that block comes Chase Elliott. That was aggressive, Joe. He was trying to defend because he thought Briscoe was going to be there.
Very aggressive, went all the way down to the apron, just about to the grass of the tri-oval. He maintains the lead, but with that move, he loses momentum. Here comes Denny Hamlin out of turn 2, closes up the gap, but right behind Hamlin, you got a trio of Toyotas, and Bubba Wallace is going to try to make that 4 Toyotas. What an interesting top 5 we're going to have with 1 Chevrolet and 4 Toyotas.
Chase Elliott leads, Hamlin second, Bell third, Larson fourth, Briscoe running now. Well, Larson's dropped down to 6th place actually now, Jack, as well, that restart. But what a run from Chase Elliott. He's looking electric as we start this stage. But Bell's coming back on the inside, gets ahead of Hamlin. They're side by side down towards turn 3 and 4. Bell should be able to outdraft Hamlin. He's got such momentum out of 2. He's going to keep that low line and try and drag in Elliott, Jack.
Yeah, here goes Bell. Can he clear him? He does clear him. Hamlin now trying to go around the outside. This is really close. Hamlin, he's still going. This would be an incredible move if he were to actually pull it off. And I think he is going to actually here. Are they still side by side? Yes, they are.
Hamlin pulls out just ahead.
And Hamlin clears him.
That was very close to come through. Oh, how many flags to the next pit stop? We're averaging around about 57 laps until we have to fully pit for everybody. So we'll see how that goes with 91 left on the board. But yeah, I think, Joe, we're now running to, as you said, the green flag pit stops because we've only had 4 cautions. I know that's jinxing it, but it's looking strong.
It's looking likely with the way this race has been playing out. I mean, even with that restart, you said calm. I didn't really see any 3 or maybe 4 wide action. 2 now packed exiting the second turn. So it seems like once everyone gets spread out, it's just a matter of if somebody makes a mistake. The only mistake really on the track, Ryan Preece, and of course, John Hunter Nemechek, and they got together exiting turn 4. But right now, I mean, Denny Hamlin has a good fast car in the long run. So I think what he's doing is taking care of the tires. You don't want to be in the dirty air all the time, looking for being in the opposite lane. See how the car feels. Then I think at some point before we get to those pit stops, he's going to make a move. Bubba Wallace making a move around Chase Briscoe, taking the low line turn 3 and 4. Chase Briscoe in the middle to high line. Bubba Wallace completes the pass right in front of him. A little bit of contact, though. Seems like Briscoe was not too thrilled about that, but we're talking about a championship and a playoff between the 2 of them.
Beautiful run as well. Bubba just lifted off the throttle, just letting the car come back to him, then hammered down again. And Jack, whatever they did in the early stages of the race to fix that 23 car, it's worked beautifully. He's now running inside the top 4, and he's looking strong. Is it out of the realms of possibility he can catch up to Bell, Hamlin, and Elliott and take the win?
Absolutely not out the possibility, to be honest with you. Bubba's looked really quick since those adjustments, and honestly he's looked like one of the fastest cars on the track. Kansas is a track he has won at before, you have to remember, back in 2022. His first on-track victory, his only win before that was at Talladega when the rain-shortened race happened.
I think I remember being in the Grid Tonight show about Bubba winning and how it was fantastic news. So we now see AJ Allmendinger. I haven't talked about him much, blocking Gibbs. Gibbs staying around the outside there as well. And to be fair, Gibbs is impressing me a lot, Joe, with how momentum he's having this season.
I mean, Gibbs, considering starting with a rookie teammate, I mean, not teammate, crew chief, lousy start to the season. He puts together these good races. Sometimes the results don't show it, but he has been improving. I know he's starting in the top 10. He will love being in the top 10. Just not the way it's going, but he has to just get better on the track. I think that's the big key. Learning everything and trying to earn the respect of a lot of folks, because we know there's a lot of people there that just give him a really hard time, I think, because of some of the things he's done on and off the track.
Now, William Byron has just said over the radio, obviously we're doing something wrong. He's 27th in the running order at the moment as Briscoe runs really high and gets massive downshift, so it's coming through 3 and 4 on the top line. Is Byron at risk, Joe, of being eliminated, or can he pick it up when we go to the Roval?
Well, 27th, no stage points. He's not helping his case. You have Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Chase Briscoe. They've been up there. They've been getting the stage points, so it's going to get tighter and tighter. Right now, it looks like he would still be in the top 8. But now you got the Roval. That's where I think William Byron has to be quite nervous about how the Roval's going to turn out. He finished 3rd last year, 2nd the year before. Before that, 16th, 11th, 6th. So he's not exactly the most consistent there. Rookie year, 34th, but that's a rookie. Throwing them in the Roval, no matter what, you're going to struggle. But clearly, they don't have it figured out today, and it's going to make it a little bit more stressful for them.
Speaking of stressful, Elliott's holding off Hamlin massively right now. Hamlin is trying every trick in the book to try and snap Elliott into making a mistake, but he's not making it. At the moment, Elliott would advance, but Larson will be plus 54. Hamlin plus 49. Bell plus 45. Logano plus 25. Byron only plus 23. Briscoe plus 21. Chastain minus 21. Wallace minus 32. Reddick minus 37. Cindric minus 45. How bad it would go for Austin Cindric at the moment as well. And he's 20th overall.
Yeah, for Cindric, at minus 45, must-win situation. That is not looking possible. Reddick, again, minus 37. You're in the really must-win. Bubba Wallace, Chastain and Briscoe, plus 21, minus 21. Chastain needs Briscoe to have a horrible race if he could somehow get around him and not get the win. But as I mentioned, Byron, plus 23. The plus 20 up to 25 I feel is very deceiving. That's just 2 stage points. Now, you see to expect SCG is going to take those 2 stage points, 20 points. You don't have to worry about it. If something goes wrong or, you play the strategy of road courses differently where you pit before the stage end, what if Bubba Wallace gets those 2 stage wins? All of a sudden he goes from minus 33 to minus 12. Now we're talking about single-digit positions. A lot on the line. That was a very key moment to show for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it shows you don't have it unless you get that win.
USA got to a break, lap 23 of 102 in the final stage. Just 80 laps to go at the moment. This is your playoff standing runners coming through. Chase Elliott leads, Hamlin second, Bell, Wallace, Briscoe, Larson. That's your top 6. Reddick runs 8th, Logano runs 10th, Blaney 11th, Chastain 12th, Cindric 20th, Byron 26th. That's the playoff standing runners. They're highlighted in red for you on your driver tracker and timing pages.
Got a penalty from a while back, by the way. Brad Keselowski was reportedly held a lap just now. I'm just trying to figure out why. Held 1 lap for adding fuel twice while being the free pass car. Didn't even know that was a rule.
And hello to everybody who's watching us in America who might have just lost USA. Apparently, several people have just said that might have gone down. So if you're watching from America, we'll hopefully have USA back open soon. To us, it sounds like they're on an ad break. They did have one scheduled in the log. So we'll see if they come back in about 2 minutes' time. If not, settle in. We'll give you as much action as we can in the final 78 laps of this race. But yeah, Joe, USA, why put it on their main NBC? As Logano passes now around the outside, Blaney for 10th position. Yeah, why not put it on main NBC? Why throw it to USA? What are they up to?
I really don't know, because we know this is a brand new TV deal where they introduced Amazon Prime, they introduced TNT is back. So there's fewer races for NBC USA, and of course there's Peacock in there. USA races are not on Peacock, so if you got Peacock, you're not seeing the race. Most of the races have been so far on the USA Network, including playoff races, where NBC wanted this part of the season because they wanted the playoffs. Why are we throwing it to USA? For folks not familiar, that is cable television. It's traditionally basic cable, so everyone should have it. But we know a lot of people are cutting the cord, and it's just not the same compared to broadcast on NBC. Southern 500 was on USA. I mean, what are we doing here? This is something where, okay, is NBC just waiting till Talladega, maybe Martinsville, and then the last race to finally, oh, we're back on NBC? I just questioned this, and I think it really shows how they're missing the opportunity with Amazon Prime, with what they did. They could have easily taken that to, hey, we're going to put on Peacock extended post-race coverage. More opportunities, and they've missed out on that.
Yeah. Although, Bob said NBC does have the Ryder Cup right now, but...
Makes sense then.
Yeah, but golf or motorsport? I'm sorry, but motorsport's more exciting than watching a ball.
Golf sucks. Don't care.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm sorry, I just don't like golf at all.
To be fair,
I don't understand.
I wonder if the only reason that the Ryder Cup is on main NBC is because NBC at the moment are trying to appease a certain person. We all know who.
Well, the Americans aren't winning right now, are they?
What? Are they? Don't know.
Yeah.
What's happening, Joe, in the Ryder Cup?
Oh, Ryder Cup, I don't know, but just looking at the rest of the schedule, all races on USA until Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix.
3.
We had New Hampshire on USA. We had Bristol on USA. We had Worldwide Technology. We had the kickoff of the Southern 500 in USA. What are we doing? Why? Come on, you could have put these races on Peacock, given something to show, hey, we will respond to Amazon's Prime acclaim of better post-race shows, better pre-race shows. They missed the boat. Maybe they're planning for next year. Who knows? It's just disappointing, I gotta say, that so many races on USA Network.
Playing golf is better than watching it. Watching golf on TV is like watching paint dry. It's so boring. I agree. It's better to play golf. Byron Radio. Red Marty.
So the frustration on the radio of the 24 as the battle for the lead heats up. Can the 24 right the ship and save some points before the Roval?
Yep, right. Well, side by side. Elliott on high. And we're looking at the wrong picture, NBC. Thank you very much. Hamlin pulls down low, and he takes the lead of the race back. Elliott's trying to get an undercut under him as well through into the trial section, but Hamlin retakes the lead of the race. I'd love to tell you if it was a good move or not, but NBC decided that Byron, running in 25th position, was the one to be on. Okay, give it to Amazon Prime. I give up.
Nothing but poor camera work, NBC, even though there's technically a P.
You're not Fox, NBC.
Oh no, Fox would literally just stop a two-way title fight at the line, sudden death, cars exploding, to show a fan knitting a scarf.
To be fair, I thought, didn't Fox like miss a restart once recently?
Fox missed everything.
I'll never forgive Fox for the Mid-Ohio 2023 ARCA broadcast.
Yeah.
That was horrific. The cameras weren't even pointed at the right location sometimes.
Me and JT actually had this situation once where we were doing the NASCAR. It was some point last year. We decided not to use Fox's TV pictures, and we solely used the cameras that were available to us from the trackside stuff. And we commentated the race like that, and we did a better job than Fox. It was shocking, their coverage.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Fox, they just seem to have this different idea of how they want to produce sports, how they introduce it. I just feel like it almost comes off cookie cutter that is based off their NFL coverage.
Yes.
They just add in, okay, now we're doing NASCAR. I question, do we really need Clint Boyer? He's more the comedian in the booth.
He used to be quite good, I thought.
IndyCar season 2 is like, okay, I get it, this is their first season, but they did not need to stop showing Alex Palou crossing the finish line to Indy 500 to just prove that Nolan Siegel had hit the wall. They could have done that after showing the finish at the biggest race of the year.
Yeah,
There's a lot of missed opportunities, so.
And I thought, one thing I will say about Fox that I really liked is they used, was it in the Brickyard 400 or in no, it's the Brickyard 400. Okay, I'm talking about NBC. The fact that when the Brickyard 400, they actually showed the same angle they used for the Indy 500 finish. I loved that. I thought that was the best thing they've ever done.
I thought TNT... Did TNT have it this year? The Brickyard 400?
Yeah, it was TNT, I think, actually.
Yes, yeah. That was their last one.
That was the best part of that broadcast. I loved them using that angle because it's just such a sick camera angle. Also, as people in the chat are saying, Europe have retained the Ryder Cup.
Oh, right, okay.
Only just, apparently.
Don't worry, next year we'll at least try and let you have it as an anniversary present.
Not exactly a good year for American sports teams. The Ryder Cup, there was that hockey four-way battle between Canada and United States. Canada won.
Yeah, Canada, I watched that game.
Mexico won, so I don't know.
I mean, it's not a good year for America, but that's a different story altogether. Especially where you are right now in Portland, thinking about it. If what I heard was right.
Yeah, well, we're still standing. Beautiful day here in
It's going to get even worse next year. You're not even on the NASCAR schedule.
That is true. We did lose the...
Still really sad about
Xfinity Series. Well, the word on the street is, you know, if PIR could get some upgrades, you could see the Cup Series there. And
yes.
The question is how you get those upgrades. Because the city of Portland owns the racetrack. It's not privately owned. The city owns it. So having funding is a little bit tricky for governments, and especially convincing taxpayers, let's invest in a racetrack. That's not going to be the most popular ask.
It's all right.
Make Portland great again.
Oh, God. Look. Orangina is already having enough problems in Portland at the moment.
I say if they fund the racetrack, though, the problems will be solved. We've got to try and convince him.
Well, he's already busy with an IndyCar race in Washington, so...
I did hear about that. But I'm not one to write off a street race immediately. I am not one to do it. I did not write off Miami. I did not write off Vegas. I have now written off Miami, but I have not written off Vegas. Vegas is a good street race.
Do you know, I've changed my mind about Miami, and I've made this a bit public, actually, as well, as Elliott's blocking
I
Wallace
like the track.
for third
I do
position.
not like it, yeah.
Elliott's dropped down to third, by the way. He's maybe fourth, because Wallace is closing in on him quite dramatically, coming through turn 1 and 2. Elliott's tyres are going, I think, Joe, as well. I think he's needing a pit stop because he's lost so much time. Bubba's going to be able to string through, but Elliott blocks coming out of turn 2.
Great block. He needed to do that, but Bubba Wallace is going to get the position, I think, as he enters turn 3 and 4 on the low line. He should be able to come up. No, he's still going to be a little bit short, but let's see if we can get that momentum and what line KSL is going to use. Bubba Wallace still trying to get that position to make it a Toyota 1-2-3. Briscoe seems to be stuck in 6th place. Look at Josh Berry just coming up there, fighting with these folks.
He's 33rd overall, but he's trying to get his lap back. He is running 2 laps down at the moment, so every little helps right now. As Bubba still defending hard. The inside line is not letting Elliott come down off it to try and block him, but gravity and the way the track is sort of put out means that Elliott stays ahead. Bubba's looking strong. Go on.
I was going to say he's staying ahead right now, but I think he might get him this time. Elliott very high. Bubba's entered in the middle lane. It's a matter of cutting him off, and there he goes. Bubba Wallace now up to 4th place. We're on lap 208 out of 267. I'm curious when it comes to pit stops, who is going to be the first one to go in? It'll be Chase Elliott just to try to get that upper hand on everyone. If I'm Bubba Wallace, I'm thinking I would want to do that because that'll be the easiest way to get around Hamlin and Christopher Bell. It looks like Tyler Reddick camera broke.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a hole in it with a cracked lens. One of the quickest cup races of the year so far, this is turning out to be, and that is not at all unwanted after being awake for so many hours. 21 hours so far, plus very loud cars. But I can tell you one thing, Joe, the stock cars that I saw today, the Chevy V8s, sound exactly like the cup cars.
The Chevrolet V8 something else. My race cars have 350 Chevys. Love working on those cars and just love the sound of them. And yeah, there's nothing that I think could compare to a race in a Chevrolet.
I've got a feeling Bubba's going to win this. So it's looking Kim.
He was my...
Random. He started on the K&N Pro Series Tour and then worked his way up through the ranks, spent time in the Truck Series before moving to Bubba's crew chief this year. He was winning races while flying under the radar, and guys, I think we can agree he is very much in the spotlight right now.
That's Bubba's crew chief, and oh, the 44's gone around, caution's out.
No, not JJ.
He's trying to get it on the grass. He'll come down pit road. He should be able to restart okay there, Joe, but this is perfect timing for yellow pit stops.
Yeah, I would say this is a good time for everyone. The pressure's now on the pit crew to deliver. I would feel like, though, if you were somebody like Bubba Wallace, well, let's watch this replay, see what happened to JJ Yeley.
Up high, we've got Chastain there. He's going, oh, don't tell me he gets hit by Hocevar. He got Hocevar.
For God's sake, Carson.
Punt.
My boy. What happened there? Hocevar's all the way back there. What the hell happened?
Just gets it loose. Just out. Well, that's really weird.
Yeah, just. I don't know if he's off the pace there.
So the
Hocevar
44
seemed to close up to him so quickly.
Go on, Joe.
He closed up and looked like Hocevar racing, with Chastain for position, decided to go the higher lane, but there was nowhere for Yaley to go, and he's struggling. He can't just smash the gas and get out of the way. It's just one of those tough deals. Hard racing, but I would also say too, you can't really expect Carson Hocevar let off for a lap car because you're going to lose ground to Ross Chastain.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So pitlets will be open next time by, and then we'll get going again. They're all coming in ready for new tyres. Everyone, is it 2 or is it 4? What are you going to do? 55 to go. The average was 57 to take it to the end, so with tyres and fuel, so this could be. This yellow has come at the golden time. Gibbs is the free pass. This time by, who runs in 26th position. Making sure the jacks work, all good. Joe, I don't think we could have thrown a better yellow.
It's good timing with 55 to go. You're not going to have to worry about fuel mileage, even if we have a situation with overtime. It's all going to come down to the pit crews. I mean, we've seen how Denny Hamlin has lost position in pit road before. Not too many, though. Still got in the top 5, then next, top 3, then the lead to win the stage. But really, I think the pressure is on, particularly the Hendrick Motorsports pit crews. Deliver something fast, put them out front. Because if they could get Elliott, Larson up there ahead, one of them carries off the lead and the other one second, that could just hold off the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas a little bit, but Gibbs Toyotas are looking really strong today.
Pit road is open. Let's head down to well, it's NBC, but USA.
It's a team sport, right? And that's so much comes down to the stops. And for those crew people, they're incredible.
It does, and obviously the pit crew is extremely important, but the driver's got to do his job too. He's got to get the car in the box at the right space, at the right speed. If the driver doesn't do all that right, it throws the timing off of everybody.
Here they come. Dave, pit road is coming alive.
And even crew chief's play, Alan Gustafson will roll out the right, left rear. So Chase needed something to hang on a little bit better and not abuse that right rear. That was the adjustment they made with there, Kim.
Top right, Bubba Wallace. My lateral grip has gone away. Needs some longevity. Then bottom left, Christopher Bell said, I'm really close. Can't trust the back, but he told his crew chief, Adam Stevens, do not tighten it up too much, Marty.
Denny Hamlin told Chris Gale, I probably pushed too much early in that run trying to catch the 9. I lost some right front grip at the end of that run. They'll win the race off pit road. Remember we talked, Lee, about him having the throttle sticking earlier, that issue? Now he says I have a steering issue as well in the 11. That was sticking under this caution.
And that now puts Bubba Wallace back into second position, Joe. You'll pick a winner right on cue here to take the lead of the race. If Hamlin's struggling with throttle and now steering.
Yeah, the restart's going to be a big key for Bubba Wallace. Of course, Denny Hamlin will be control car. I anticipate he's going to go potentially the high lane to get that momentum exiting turn 2. So Bubba Wallace needs a good, clean restart. If I was Bubba Wallace, I wouldn't want to push the limit where you're side-by-side exiting turn 2, because if you have Kyle Larson behind you, he's going to use that air to make a 3 wide entering turn 3. So he might be a little bit better off That's okay, settle in second place. You only got one car ahead of you, multiple grooves. Try to get around Denny Hamlin in the following laps.
This is going to be a epic 50 odd laps as we go in, as the secondary cars come down pit road. That didn't stop before. Jack, what about you? What are you expecting when we go back to green flag running? 5 cautions remember so far. This race averages out at 7.
Oh, we better get those next 2 cautions then, so we can hit the average.
Well, most of the cautions in Kansas do come in stage 3. And we're inside now the last 53 laps. Not entirely out of the realms of possibility. I've seen more oval racing today than I have track racing. That's quite interesting. By the way, anybody who's just joining, welcome to you. If you come to the commentary box cam and wonder why I'm muddy, I've been at brisker F1 and 2s, which means I'm incredibly sticky and oily and look like I've been in a 1950s racing car. The dust, man, is unbelievable. Joe Samiego alongside myself, Josh Birch, and Jack in the commentary box. Joe with the Grid Network, founder and pundit, and also race driver. Knows all about that dust I was just on about.
Former race driver. It's been a while. Just got too expensive, and well, way it goes. But a lot of fun. The dirt track racing days. I always encourage go to support your local dirt track. Sometimes you might find that talent somewhere that's racing. I mean, over in Alaska Raceway Park, we had Keith McGee racing there. Now he's in the truck series. He just needs a really good ride, though. He's been stuck with back markers, though.
It's been a while. Well, even Malcolm in the Middle has been racing. Has he broken his wrist, Frankie? I heard he broke his wrist. Yeah.
Ladder accident, yep.
Damn. And he's filming at the moment. I wonder how they've written that in. For the reboot to Malcolm in the Middle. Not the most famous reboot I'm looking forward to next season, though. That's next year. That, of course, becomes Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's hear from Hamlin.
Turn to the right, goes click, click. I'm so paranoid it's going to break something. I think it's broke.
Oh, Hamlin's broke it.
Denny Hamlin says the power steering is gone on the 11. I go back to Steve, what Denny told me earlier this week. We've had such a great car here over the years at Kansas. We have had multiple mechanical issues. They had one in the spring. They've had 2 today. Would this cost Hamlin the win if the power steering is not working? He just told Chris Gale, I don't know what to do. Gale said nothing I can do to help you for now.
Yeah, I mean, rack and pinion steering, once the hydraulic assist goes out, you're dead in the water. You are not going to be able to drive it like a standard steering box of days of old. So we'll have to just see if the 11 literally has no power steering or if it's just a little bit tough. Let's take a look at 45 of Reddick. Bang. A couple big shots into the rear bumper of the 17. We'll have to see if there's any damage to the nose.
The trouble that Denny Hamlin has is he's leading this race. And he has started on the front row. What happens when he drives into the corner?
Yeah, well, we're about to find out because Hamlin's got no power steering. And now, Bubba Wallace senses an opportunity. Green flag is back out with 51 to go. Down towards turn 1. Hamlin's got the traction. Down towards the first corner. Logano's coming up high, and there's a tap, and in there, round.
Crash.
The second one goes round. The Logano has actually spun around now as well. 4's gone round. Sindri's gone round. Everyone's spinning, and Logano, I think, was caught up in that as well. The 77, the 47's gone round as well. There's Logano. Yeah. Side pod damage. Should be able to keep on with it. But Joe, a nasty restart where everyone just Constantino'd up.
They all Constantino'd up. Caution number 6 of the day. And once we saw a car get sideways in the restart in that big pack, nowhere to go. I want to see another angle of Joey Logano. You can see the back tire's got a lot of rub. I'm curious if that car's healthy. Here's the replay, Josh.
Let's have a look. So Blaney moves out, but the 2 gets hit by the 4, taps the 22. That gets loose anyway, but then all hell breaks out loose behind Jack.
I'm just watching, how does Hocevar get into this?
There, the secondary contact takes it to turn 2.
Yeah. Is his contact just completely unrelated to everyone else? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
His contact is completely... I think every single Penske was involved in that.
Yep.
somewhat. Not their weekend.
So right on board. Go on, Joe.
On board with Riley Herbst here. He just goes all the way towards the inside wall, paved area, avoid everybody as they're spinning and colliding up on the bank and coming on down. Now Kyle Busch view, he's on the outside, so he gets into the wall quite a bit. There's nowhere to go. Logano ahead of him spins down, up brake, and then another one. I don't know exactly which driver this is on board. Oh, this is Cindrix.
Cindrix, yeah, there's two. Here it is again, looks. The 4 gets loose, touches the side, and then all hell breaks loose. So the 47, the 22, the 2, the 4, the 3, and the 77 are apparently erupted on that one.
And ahead of them, that's where we saw the contact with Blaney and Carson Hocevar. Blaney tapped the wall, but he touched it pretty much flush. I don't think he did a ton of damage. Hocevar, just trying to find control, loses it. He actually made first contact with Chastain and then goes up into Blaney and then spins around. On board with Gregson.
Oh, he just got completely wiped. Like, in fact, it was all caused by Logano. Logano just steams back through, wipes him out, and just goes, well, deal with that, sonny. I was right with my original statement. It was all caused by Logano getting loose.
Damage to the front of Cindric's car.
There's no radio, sorry, that was them turning up without me. So, gaffer tape going on. Oh, I hate the gaffer tape, makes my skin crawl.
Ross Chastain did not get out of that incident damage-free. Does have damage along the right side, not enough to bring him down. They just came on the radio and said, pit lane's open, we are staying out, but just something to keep an eye on for the one car of Chastain.
Okay, so Chastain's got damage there as well. He was caught up in that one. Oh, it always has to happen. This is JT's fault, by the way. Oh, and the 3's got damage. I think he's trying to catch a fish.
I have not seen that. The way the hood looks peeled, I hope they show it again. It almost looks like somebody ran a can opener on half of it and just bent it open.
This is JT's fault, by the way. He's trying to get home. He's nearly home, and he's trying to get in for the last end of this race in the call. He does look ridiculous though, the 3 car at the moment. 6th caution of the night. They're big. They're the medium one on the restart. Yeah, and Logano now down pit road as well, Joe. So that looks like his now going to really affect with the playoff standings. He's going to have to perform in the next 2.
He's going to be, I mean, right now where it looks like he might be in 8th in the standings. Still above the cone line, but Chastain, who's behind him, still out there on the track. That means he could be a lot of potential swing. But I can't tell. I'd like to see more of Logano. Is that car sort of crab walking? Did he get damage to that rear end? If not, I think he can still go out there, collect points. But if he has bigger issues, he's going to be in trouble points-wise.
Jack, what do you think we're going to see on this next restart when the track gets cleaned up?
Not Ricky Stenhouse, he's just gone to the garage, I'm told.
Oh.
That's one thing I can say.
Yes, and the 16 as well, AJ Allmendinger.
I think the sooner this race is over for Hamlin, the better. Because without power steering, he is going to struggle. I want to remind you that Kurt Busch in the 2003 Darlington race had no power steering for the final few laps of the race. That's why he lost all that time. So, we'll see how... I don't know how that's going to work in the next-gen car. But it can lead to some pretty impressive finishes.
One big key, too, with that finish, I believe was a different system, because now they're used to rack and pinion steering, where you have the fluid valves, a rotary valve. Somewhere that piston is. That's why I'm thinking the click, click, click is that piston messing up. So I think it is just gone, and if I was Danny Hamlin, just treat it like it's not there.
Running in insane at the moment in this one. Let's head back to USA. As we have
All right, we just saw a big pile up into turn 1. This wreck started at the front of the pack. Watch Denny Hamlin. He goes. A lot of misjudging of the pace. Then the 11 did not go the pace they wanted. Look at the space between the 1 and the 45. Now look behind them. Everybody's coming at a much higher rate of speed. Nowhere to go. Bumper tag starts, and then they ended up making contact. But that wreck started at the very front of the pack. It's no different than on an interstate. Something happens in front of you, then a quarter mile back's where the wreck happens. That's exactly what happened here.
Whiplash effects. Garnett's spun around 47.
Playoff drivers involved in terms of Austin Cindric and Joey Logano. Ross Chastain, maybe he got away with it. Speaking of Joey Logano, he's going to have a penalty. Too fast, leaving pit road.
Not really surprised, that one, is it?
All right, so now Denny Hamlin, once again, he has a decision to make, Marty, on how he handles this situation.
Yeah, not really a word from Denny Hamlin other than what could I do? So Chris Gale and Brandon Griffith, the car chief, kind of went over what they could possibly do. They cycled the car. That was Gale's suggestion. Just cycle the car for me, see if that fixes anything. Denny Hamlin said, I did. It didn't fix anything and did confirm I have 0 power steering. The last restart worked out pretty well. Can this one work out? But with 48 to go and having the dominant car today, Steve, no shot they would bring him back down pit road to get it fixed.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't pit from the front row. I can't imagine he'll be able to keep the position. As I was mentioning, this is a rack opinion. So this big silver item right here, that's basically the steering component. You see the hydraulic line. So unless it's a hydraulic leak, normally it's this component that kind of gives up. It has a bunch of different functions. It has some drive and some gears in there. So either he's lost hydraulic assist or the system itself is breaking. I believe it's a hydraulic assist issue because if the part fails, normally the driver doesn't even really have control. We've seen that at Bristol and some other places. I feel it just doesn't have the hydraulic assist. And Jeff, unlike a steering box like an Xfinity or truck that are hard to steer, these are nearly impossible. Just the
Yep. Here we go. Ready for the restart once more. Hamlin low, Bell high on the restart. 45 to go. We're racing once more. And Bell gets a wonderful restart. He's going to jump Hamlin if he can get ahead and cut him off down through 1. Still 3 wide further back. A few touches coming in. Blaney's backed out of it coming through. So did Larson by quite a margin. Chastain now with Buescher, but Bell and Hamlin battling at the front, Joe, down towards turn 3 and 4. Oh, nearly touching.
Yep. Nearly touching. Amazing effort. I gotta say, for Christopher Bell, using that high line, Denny Hamlin comes up. I think Christopher Bell's going to try to slay it underneath. Meanwhile, third place, Bubba Wallace gets ahead of Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe looking below the white line into the apron to go side by side, entering turn number 1. Excuse me.
Fantastic runs as they come into it once more, and it's getting brilliant between Wallace and Briscoe. Yeah, go on, Jack, take it. Oh, and he nearly makes contact.
Contact there. Look at Bubba just flying. Both the 2311 cars just are flying at the moment. But also shout out Zane Smith, who's been running generally around the top 10 all day. Really good day for the front row motorsports driver as Bubba crosses over to the inside. Is he going to be able to take Briscoe? He shoves him up the track, trying to get the move done. Dives down to the low lane.
He's trying, reels him in. Briscoe touches the wall.
Oh, Briscoe's in the wall.
Briscoe in the wall, just gets out of it, touches the side of Bubba Wallace. Briscoe backs out, Bubba takes it, but Joe, that was close.
That was close. The way he hit it, I don't think much damage at all. If anything, he could just keep going. But Bubba Wallace, he is racing hard. Tyler Rick, both racing hard because we talked about the points earlier. They were still both below the cut line. Joey Logano further back in the 20s. That might be a help. Here's the replay of that wall contact.
Still coming in. There it is again. What do you make of it, Jack?
Just fighting too hard, innit? That's all I can say. Skims the wall. I'm hoping he's going to be alright with that and not have a tyre failure or anything. It was a little bit of a light skim, so I think he might just be okay. He is currently running, and look at Chastain here. on a defend against Zane Smith. He's currently in 4th place, so I think he'll be alright. He's dropping down now, though, as Chase Elliott is side by side with him. Dives down. Bowman to the wall!
He's rubbing it down at up at 3 and 4. Can he get back to the pit limit line needing a caution? I wonder how that's happened. It doesn't look like a tyre's got.
That's right, please.
I hope he hasn't got a tyre down. He's just gone up wide, it looks like, as well there. What do you think, Joe?
Oh, SVG put him in the wall.
SVG.
Tried to I feel like Bowman just tried to shove it 3 wide. But there wasn't really a lot of room to do so.
SVG was on the outside of Byron. Bowman just had a great run.
Anywhere to go.
Nowhere to go, and I think nobody anticipated Bowman to come up that quickly, unfortunately.
With
one button. Yeah, SVG just pushing him up the circuit. Well, I'm glad no yellows breed yellows at the moment. This would be a difficult situation to try and capitalise on. 39 laps to go. 3 wide in the box. We're on to the 23 and the 9, the 1, the 17 and the 38, and the leaders, Hamlin leading Bell. Such a tricky run so far today. 38 to go. That's what, 20 minutes or so? They just need to behave for that long? But then again, they are the difficult boys to come into it.
When you look at the race length, we're at 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Excuse me, 2 hours and 40 minutes and 4 seconds. Got the timing there messed up. So it's still a pretty fast-paced race. The big thing I'm sort of surprised, no caution for that contact between Bowman and SVG. Bowman's in the pits, but he is just going multiple laps down, so they're working on that. With no caution, it not helping him at all.
That final caution we had a few minutes ago, it's now been confirmed. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 8, the 12, the 16, the 22, the 47, the 54, the 77, and the house that Jack built. Everyone's there as the 17 side by side with the 1. That's going to be the 1 running up high, coming in with Ross Chastain, 8th position. Chris Buescher not in the playoffs. Chastain is. Going to try and keep the run into it as well, side by side at the exit. 36 to go. It's around about 10 minutes, around about 15 minutes. And the 17 now swinging down low. Chastain's now got a bigger problem because coming in is Zane Smith. Maybe trying to make it go 3 wide through 1 and 2.
And this is going to help Logano stay ahead of Chastain when it comes to the points. Logano right now in 23rd, while Chastain trying to stay up ahead, gain as much points as possible.
Chastain running high. Swings it into the tri-oval through 1. Should be able to block off the 38, but he's still staying there so tight on the inside line. And through has gone Zane Smith. He's blasted past on the low line. Chastain gets the traction with a straight line speed. Retakes the position. And it's anything you can do, I can do better, it now looks like, doesn't it, Joe, as they swing in?
Yep, because now there's Zane Smith again using the low line. He's going to have the motor. I think he's going to keep the position. And Blaney's catching up to Chastain. So this is getting from bad to worse for Ross Chastain. But look at them. They're catching up to Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson losing position to Zane Smith. That's going to put him down to 9th. Kyle Larson's going to use that highline momentum. But what's going on with the 5 team from running good all day to losing positions?
Hasn't been long since my watch is died, so I can't even tell you how long it was. I was running a stopwatch since the last pit stop. Larson then running down. He's got the 38 of Zane Smith, then followed by the 1 of Ross Chastain, barging through 1, barging through 2, and now the 5 setting it up high and is losing out on time. So unfortunately, Larson's in bigger trouble than we first thought. Hamlin, though, Larson, I think, deserves this one. Sorry, Joe, because if he's got no power steering, that's just brilliant. Go on.
He put down his fastest lap. Denny Hamlin. Don't know what's going on, but it doesn't appear to be slowing him down. As Larson again trying to work to regain that position from Zane Smith.
Still holding it in. Larson's following on. JT might make it towards the end of this broadcast. Let's rejoin then our American colleagues over on USA. as Hamlin will come over the line with 31 to go of the Hollywood Casino 400 here at Kansas Speedway.
Apparently Larson hit the wall, according to Chris Knight on Twitter.
You're back with us on USA. If you're watching stateside, Hamlin leads Bell, Wallace, Elliott, Briscoe, Redditt, the top 6 all playoff drivers. Larson 8th, Chastain 10th, Blaney 11th, Byron 12th, Logano 23rd, Cindric 33rd, and this was a few laps ago, Joe, just rubbing the wall.
Yeah, the Chatter's car, Kyle Busch getting up there, losing a couple positions. Oh, he had it pretty good there. On board camera, you didn't really hear much of the wall contact, but you could see from the smoke, he is up against the wall. Kept on running though. No caution. And Kyle Larson up against the wall too, having to really back down.
That's the mistake you made, you saw. That's the mistake that you spotted, Joe. That was like, what happened to him?
He rode that wall turn 1 and 2 pretty good, so.
Oh yeah, nice one. 30
to go.
Radio.
30 laps to go.
That was Denny Hamlin a moment ago, Steve. He said, I don't know how much longer I can hold it. That's what Hamlin said. 29 to go. He's hanging on for all he can. He's been the dominant car today. Kansas has snake bitten this 11 team so many times over the year. This could be a pivotal moment in the championship hopes for Denny Hamlin.
So obviously some sort of mechanical issue with the steering still exists after that radio.
But I've got a feeling that Hamlin is still, Joe, he is pushing all of his strength into this car. He's pushing everything into it, holding that power steering that is broken. This is old school. This is pure old school.
And that's the thing, you could still run a car with power steering. If you ever driven a car on power steering, you'll know it's the hardest to make a turn when you're going slower compared to when you're going faster. With this rack and pinion though, it gets even harder because the components are broken. You got nothing to just be allowing you to help a little bit. So if he's really got no power steering, just putting all that effort into steering, he is going to be worn out in victory lane by the time we complete these next 27 laps. That's a comfortable lead, putting down fast laps. Very impressive effort by Denny Hamlin. Of course, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace. I mean, if something was to go wrong, it wouldn't be the end of the world for Toyota because they've got another 2 Toyotas up there with Hamlin. And it looks like it's going to be a Toyota victory unless we get a caution to shake up things.
So, he thought it was a brilliant point of advice.
Do me a favor, wiggle your fingers down each front stretch, down the front stretch and the back stretch. And that was Denny Hamlin saying back, I'm trying. Just something to kind of keep the circulation going for Denny Hamlin in his arms because clearly he's fighting it right now.
Wiggle your hands. Try and get that blood pumping again. And to be fair, I feel it. You sort of just lose out and get your blood circulating again. Joe, what kind of tricks would you do when you were racing as well to stop that? Because, of course, when you were racing with your cars, you had no power steering. So arm pump becomes a bit of an issue. Motorcycle riders have the same thing.
I was just going to say, considering we're just talking in the pre-race about Marc Marquez and the arm pump surgery that a lot of them go through, it's just working to make sure you don't go numb, you don't lose that circulation, because this is a big effort. And granted, with the NASCAR Cup Series cars, they're all tuned to try to turn left as much as possible. If you get in a Cup Series car, no steering input, and just hit the gas, you'll see the car will naturally want to turn left. But still, the driver has to put in a lot of input, so he is just pretty much from turn 1 to full left, take a break on the straightaway of the backstretch, but then that's still that front straightaway where they got the tri-oval, he's having to put in some effort. So this is going to work him out. We're down to 24 to go. And look at William Byron trying to put something together, trying to salvage something right now in 12th place. Just got around Ross Chastain, who continues to slide down.
Nathan just said, JB, I can't wait for Dave to win the championship, the meltdown that everyone will have as well coming into it. Well, he's on course. He wants to win the title. If he wins this, it'll put him into the round of 8 without having to worry about what's going on next week at the Roval and then in 2 weeks' time at Talladega. Talladega, by the way, will be coming through.
This battle, this 3-car battle, but specifically between Chastain and William Byron.
Well, that was Byron battling with the one as we were covering it on air. Yeah, 2 weeks' time in Talladega, by the way, the USRN team taking you through it as... hang on a minute. Taking us in 3 weeks' time. They're taking you through as well because we're on America for the United States Grand Prix. Back to the action. Larson battling now with the 17. So Larson's gone from leading the race to being inside the top 3 to now being 7th, and now Bush is in right behind him for 8th. I mean, talk about Larson struggling out there, but Hamlin has got the problems, and he's doing absolutely fine.
Life goes better when you have a great handling car. We don't know what exactly happened to Larson's car since that wall contact. I'm getting the sense because he did get around earlier by Buescher and Zane Smith. He reclaimed his position with Chris Buescher. I don't know if he's going to have anything against Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick's car has been fast all day. Chase Briscoe. 7th place might be the best he could do, but you know what? You just got to take that. Be comfortable because you are pretty high in the standings where you should be safe unless you just screw up completely at the Roval.
Jack, what have you making of this one so far? 20 to go. That's about 10 minutes of running. And it is, at the moment, Hamlin on his way to bounce his way into the playoffs with the round of 8.
Man, I have no idea what kind of pain Hamlin is going through right now. My goodness, but he's got more bravery than I do, I can say that. Bell is still remaining within that 0.8 of a second. I don't know, I think he lost time the last lap. Did he gain any this lap? Yeah, he did gain a little bit, not much though.
2 tenths.
Then he's going to have to aero block like crazy if Bell catches up to him.
One thing we need to also consider is that we've only had 6 cautions. This track averages out 7, as Joe pointed out earlier on in the broadcast. So there is a chance that we have a 7th caution coming through. Go on.
Battle for 13th, Shane Van Gisbergen trying to get around his teammate Ross Chastain. I think the handling for Chastain's car is gone. I don't think it's related to the contact. I don't think that would have done much. But I just think that team did not keep up with the track evolution as Shane Van Gisbergen trying to get around his teammate. When we saw the round of 12, the playoff picture, below Chastain 13, you're going to make that minus 14 because he is still losing ground compared to Joey Logano, who is in 23rd. Wallace, Reddick, minus 22, minus 26. This is their best opportunity to get a win because they're going to be under a lot of stress. And Austin Cindric, minus 69, he's in a must-win situation.
Must win, must win, must win. That's basically what the playoffs is. If we do keep them for next year, which is rumours that we'll lose the NASCAR playoff series, and we'll just have 36 regular points plus the 2 invitationals coming into it. Very quickly, late on the broadcast, Joe, would that work for you, or do you like the playoff system?
As much as I would like the idea of a full season, bring back like the Winston Cup era, considering the schedule's been released, you know people are talking about, okay, this is the round of 12, 16, whatever. I don't anticipate we're going to get rid of the playoffs. I think if anything, we're going to see a new playoff format. And I'm hoping that would include not a 1 race decides all, but 2 or 3 race decides all. One thing, Christopher Bell looks like he's just slowly catching up. If he catches up to Denny Hamlin, aero blocking is going to be so hard for Denny Hamlin because he's having a hard time without the power steering, making left turns. He is not going to be able to swing that car to the left, to the right, to block Christopher Bell. He might be in trouble.
Yellow, yellow! Oh no! This is not what we needed at all! Caution has come out! Can't tell why as of yet, but the yellow flag is flying with 14 to go, the worst time possible, and it's for a tyre! And that's come off the 8. Kyle Busch's tyre has blown. Caution comes out inside 14 to go. Everyone will stop, and now there's the 7th caution. And now this really puts it together because if we have overtime, we are doomed. And did he touch the wall? Yeah, and it's blown the tyre, Joe.
Yep, went up to the wall. We saw him contact the wall earlier, so this second time, I think he just got it to where the tire lost a complete outer layer of the tire. That has to be a caution. Tough season for him, man. Well, big question, will anybody be brave enough to make a last pit stop, or will they stay out? I'm Joey Logano. You got nothing to lose. Just go ahead and make a pit stop. See, you can reclaim a lot of positions.
Right, pit stop window is going to be open. They'll box them up behind the pace car to begin with. AMR safety crew have pulled out the offending tyre. Talk about marshals. Some of the best in the world, the AMR safety crew as well. They are always on site. You remember, you've seen accidents around the years. Within 5 seconds, they are there alongside. Fantastic. 13 to go. As USA go to an ad break, we stay with you here on JB Motorsports with Hamlin leading from Bell, Wallace, Elliott, Briscoe, top 5. I've got stew and dumplings after this. It may sound ridiculous, it's going to be 11:30 at night, but I'm going for a shower to clean up all this book that I've had to stay in for an extra 3 hours to broadcast this race. I'm going to have that food. I might have some ice cream. I can have a bit of a later night, relax, watch some television, and then sleep. I apologise if I miss alarms. Go on.
Late night food sometimes is the key. I know yesterday with MotoGP, it was at 10 p.m. Figure, oh, why not? Check out the local pub. They had MotoGP, had a nice burger, nice drink. Oh, Mark Marquez clinched it. Fun evening.
Hang on. You're telling me that MotoGP for you was on at 10 p.m. last night?
Because they're in Japan.
It was on at 6 a.m. UK time on the Sunday. It's the same. It was on the same day for me. This is why time zones are confusing.
Everyone's coming in for pit stops. Nobody... Yeah, I don't think anybody stayed out.
Pressure on the pit crews at Kansas Speedway. Chase Elliott from 4th position hits first. He needs his team to go back to the adjustments they had the run before. Kim.
Charles Knight making the call for Bubba Wallace. It's right sides only, sounds like, and it is in fact right sides only. Christopher Bell just needs to be a half number rear, also right sides only for him.
Denny Hamlin survived 30 green flag laps. Kim, he gets into a stall cleanly without the power steering. How does the exit? It's pretty good, but they do lose some spots here on pit road, taking the 2 tires for the 11 team.
Lost a bunch of spots. Denny Hamlin goes from the lead back to 6th place. Here's how it went down. He was up against it with that power steering issue.
Oh, problem with the Jackman. Remember, a different Jackman this week because of the suspended crew members' problems setting the jack. Multiple spots lost. Now no power steering, back in traffic.
Go for it, Joe.
Brings up a good point about a new jack person. Of course, last week they were in New Hampshire. They deferred the penalty for the suspended pit crews to this race. The idea being we deferred it, we could go to New Hampshire, we could get the win, then the race where we need to rely on them a lot less, we don't have to worry. It just backfired there. The pit crew that was suspended, they're not there, and guess what? The Jackman made a mistake, and they're gone from winning the race to you're gonna need some help, and especially since he does not have power steering.
Yeah, and several calming down pit road now as well, but this is disastrous news for Denny Hamlin. According to my monitor, Tom Gilliland's got the lead of the race. I'm not entirely sure that's correct on how things stand in the playoffs. 265. No, 255 was just completed. So that would put it as Hamlin ahead of Bell. Yeah, take a look at the laps and rundown screen that you have on the last auto update, 255. It would be Hamlin, Bell, Briscoe, Reddick up in there. Tyler Reddick, who was having such a bad day, he's just come back in, Joe, to brilliance.
He's been coming back, and I mean, what an effort by that team. The mistake by Tyler Reddick, we know he's racing with a lot on his mind. With his son, Rookie, having a lot of health issues. All of us, I know we mentioned, are thinking about wishing the best in a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
What an effort that would be, but they still need to really win this race to get out of a dire situation points-wise.
That jack is not going up at all. and it failed on them as well, twice. Go back to the good old days of having an air intake instead of a manual jack, as off goes our television pictures, which is exactly what I needed at that particular moment in time to try and get things back operational. What's up, Jack? Go for it.
Blaney, too fast on pit road.
Oh, Ryan Blaney. And that'll be a penalty in his book. Go on.
Gibbs as well, by the way, too fast on pit road. And McDowell also penalised for equipment here.
9 seconds was the 2-tire stop. My data I was looking at was incorrect. 9 seconds when everybody else was doing 4 and 5 second 2-tire stop. I mean, basically, he could have took 4 tires in the same amount of time.
And let's give some credit to the 20 team of Christopher Bell, because, Jeff, the stop before, it was slow and put Christopher back, and they stepped up and got that Rheem Toyota Camry out first. There have been some penalties, the 12 and the 54, speeding off pit road. Dave?
So the first driver that took 4 tires was Chase Elliott. Here was a pep talk from his crew chief, Alan Guffs. Sorry, yes, Chase. Here's Alan.
Yeah, you're the first on 4. Just go get him here. No, sir, you're the first one. Think of how fast that 19 was coming a couple years back there on 4.
Now, a couple years ago, 2017, Martin Truex swept the season here at the Kansas Speedway. Maybe that's what he's referring to. 4 tires could work here, guys.
Ready for a restart. Do not, at this point, go to the zone of we are going to be here forever.
Let's hit 3 hours for the race length.
Not bad, is it? Very quick for this time of year.
I'm rooting for the guy we're on board with right now.
Tyler Reddick.
Yep.
I'm going Bubba Wallace. And that's Joe's pick a winner. He's feeling very lucky today. For what could be the last time, the green flag falls and we are underway here at Kansas. Anyone can have a momentum run into the walls the first couple of corners. Look at Larson getting a bit loose. They're bumping and balling. They're 5 wide mid-pack. Logano's been absolutely dropped. It's side by side between Bell on the low line. Bubba's in the middle. No one there for Hamlin at all. Bubba's on the high line, Joe, and Bubba's battling with Bell for the lead.
The two of them are entering turn number 3 side by side. Bubba Wallace is going to try to use the outside lane to get that momentum. On the inside, going to try to cut up. Still side by side, nothing going on, but they got to watch behind them. There's Chase Briscoe, there's Tyler Reddick. If they stay side by side, they could gain up. They're side by side as they enter turn 1 side by side still.
This is back to green flag running, by the way. I don't know why timing 7-1 says it's yellow. We are green as they still run together down the back stretch, trying to find in their time. The 20 cuts in low, still side by side. The 77's round, and now we've got a caution out. With 8 to go.
Spinning down the back stretch.
Yeah, well,
The question.
Go on, Joe.
Who was the leader at the moment of caution, or the scoring?
20, Bell. Bell got it.
I think Bell, but I'm not sure. And Hocevar's stuck.
7 to
Hocevar
go.
is stuck.
What happened here then? Let's have a look.
Is that going to trigger the overtime?
Oh, he just hit the wall, didn't he?
Yeah.
And spun off the nose of one of the Fords. I want to say that's Keselowski, but I'm not 100%.
We'll stick back up with
So
our
that is Buscher. Buscher got into him.
While then contact. With the flat tire, he is stuck.
Let's check in with the team.
It was a delayed caution, and then, so we're going to go back to a timing line, and it'll see what the running order is, whether it's Bubba Wallace, Bell, Briscoe.
AMR safety team on the scene to help Carson Hocevar, who has had a very good day. Was in the top 10 and just hovering around the top 10, certainly in top 15 all day long.
There's a lot going on. The Elliott had a couple good runs with those 4 tires and then got stalled out a couple times.
Bubba Wallace did a great job on the outside to keep the fight to Christopher Bell. The inside lane has worked most of the day, but not that time.
And have a look at that picture there. In the top 4 cars, 2 of them are 2311 Toyotas. The 2 guys who were in the last 2 positions coming into this playoff race, the last 2 positions in the playoff point structure, and needed something special to happen today. And they've given themselves a chance, and this guy and his team, Tyler Reddick and the 45 team, have rallied phenomenally well. He was in the top 5 in stage 1, went as far back as 23rd, and then now he's back in the mix in 4th. He said he really didn't want to go to the Roval needing to do something special. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that yet because he's still got a chance of winning. And now, when we complete this, all eyes will be on the Roval next weekend.
The show is the race here on the road. Every year, there is something that happens in the race that makes it memorable.
Damn it, get it straight, come on, play it with your I can't believe I just did that. Got in the wall hard or jump.
Overtime. We are in overtime.
Bell was meant to win it today.
That's why you never give up, man. We live on, boys. It's all you. Love you, man. Ding your tabs, baby.
Kyle Lawson wins at the Roval.
There you go. Good job, guys. Hell yeah.
You're on fire, man.
Being the leader.
Bubba leads this race.
That's huge because one of the things, if they show a replay of that restart, Christopher Bell got a pretty good push from Tyler Reddick. It came a little bit earlier though. Bubba Wallace got a push from Chase Briscoe a little later. That allowed him to stay side by side with Christopher Bell entering turn 1 and 2 on that restart. Just keeping that momentum on the outside lane, that was the big key. Now Bubba gets to be the control car. Which lane does he pick? I like the outside lane because you can use that outside momentum exiting turn 2. You're going to be very dependent on a good push behind you. You got your teammate back there, but he's in 4th place. Will he go with you? Or will Briscoe go? Will Briscoe go with Bell? This is going to be very fascinating between those Toyotas and Denny Hamlin in 5th to watch it all go down.
Battle, brave, bold, beautiful race coming up here. So we're going to go tick down to 4 to go. That would trigger the overtime if I'm not mistaken, Joe, but it's because we haven't been given the 1 to go. So this would we go 3 to go, or does this now go into that procedure of overtime?
We would potentially go with 3 to go if we get the green next time by, and that will work almost like an overtime with the green, white, checkered. But if we don't get it next time by, then we are going to be looking at overtime, even if it's just 1 lap over. So
it has ticked from 4 back to 3, so I would assume we've got into overtime.
Potentially.
Kim.
I mean,
sorry.
He's going to use me up. He keeps missing the bottom, keeps just shoving his air up into me. So we got to flip the strip here. I need the 45 behind. I mean, it could flip, but I know that. But that's the perfect scenario.
So we will see how that plays out. Bubba Wallace looking for a perfect scenario here on what could be the final restart. That's a lot to ask, though, Marty.
Imagine being Chase Briscoe, who is the only driver who's finished top 10 in every playoff race so far. They're in a position to do that again today, sitting in 3rd. But a moment ago, he asked James Small on the radio, where do the points stack up? We see that on the left-hand side of the screen. For all the good this 19 team has done, if winds up being Bubba Wallace, the winner today, they are just +1 above the cut line. When that news was delivered to Chase, just silence on the radio, Dave.
Yikes. Okay, William Byron's rebound continues. He runs 9th before they do the choose. And here's why. He was told before the last pit stop that 2 tires would be an option. And with that news, he radioed back, my stuff's good now. Totally different car. So with that knowledge, they gave him the 2 fresh tires only, gained some position there on pit road, and now runs in the top 10. What a day.
Been some crazy turnarounds today. Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Tyler Reddick. The list goes on.
No choose that time.
And the caution's been so long because the 77 car, he tried to drive it back, and they ended up having to hook him up and pull him back to the garage. He went to the garage, put tires on it, and then immediately back out to the racetrack.
This is not going to go yet, is it, as well, Joe? This is just taking forever.
it's going to be an overtime attempt, of course. To get a car towed back, it's going to take some time. Bubba Wallace, Yeah, it was very interesting. They're showing highlights of his win at the Brickyard 400, which got him in the playoffs. The fact that he got Chase Briscoe, who's been top 10 every playoff race. If Bubba Wallace wins, he'll be +1. That's it. That's very risky entering the Roval. I think Chase Briscoe's gonna have to look at, I gotta push Bell. If Bell wins, I'm not gonna be in that situation of somebody below me locking themselves in. That's why I think Bubba Wallace knows he needs Tyler Reddick to give him a great push on this restart. Here they come, two to choose.
This is it. Was going to use him up, take the air away from his car. Doesn't mean wrecking, but just put him in a compromising position. He's going to take the bottom. I think that's the right thing to do. We've seen that work most of the day. That's going to put his teammate right behind him. Now remember, his teammate needs to win. So, yeah, I know teams work well together. We had this big controversy last week with Gibbs.
So it's Bell, Wallace, Briscoe, Reddick, Hamlin, Larson, Elliott, Van Gisbergen, and Byron Chastain. First names are outside, second names are inside.
This is very interesting. So what Bubba Wallace is hoping is that Tyler Reddick is going to give him that great push, gets him clear. You heard Jeff Burton say Tyler Reddick needs to win. What Tyler Reddick will really like, it's such a great push. You get Bubba Wallace clear ahead. You get side by side with Christopher Bell. You get around Christopher Bell, and then you could try to catch up to Bubba Wallace. That's the only way really Tyler Reddick has a shot at the win. Better than just trying to work your way up on the high side. Of course, Briscoe might be the wild card. If he feels like he doesn't get a good push to Bell, he might try to go 3 wide entering turn 1. Very key restart here.
We're going to stay with this camera angle for the end of the race because it's such a quick run here. So stay with us. First overtime attempt then for the Hollywood Casino 400. Bubba Wallace on the low line, Bell on the high line. What are we going to have as we come to the green flag? All three lined up, ready to go. The green flag falls, the restart zone is there, and already Briscoe bumps Bell straight ahead of Bubba Wallace. The 45 trying to have the inside line. Bubba comes up to block with Bell in towards the triangle, turn 1 and 2. Up high comes Briscoe. Down very low goes Reddick. Logano's coming through. Once again, there's no one there for Chase Elliott. Bell's holding back, going down low, coming out of nowhere. That was SVG trying to go on the inside line of Hamlin, and he's making that move stick. Coming up we go into it. Will we take the white flag before the caution? No, there's a caution flag out just before the line, and the 38's on its side. Coming over it onto the roof once and twice, flipping over, landing on all fours, and Zane Smith rolls twice on the backstretch.
A rollover, Bubba Wallace ahead. Be interesting to see the tape, the replay, but Bubba Wallace looks like he's going to be restarting the second attempt in the lead. Tyler did not get it to his back bumper. Overall, though, he's still in 4th place, so he got lucky because he's going to get another opportunity. The AMR safety crew at Zane Smith right now.
And he's out, and there is a thunderous applause from the AMR safety crew.
Want a little weird fact? Last 2 flips at Kansas have both been the 38 car. Alfredo, I think it was that flip, was it? A few years ago.
So, caution's out, we reset again. At this rate, JT is going to make it to the booth. Zane Smith is okay, ladies and gentlemen, after a double flip.
Josh Berry there.
Berry's out too? No, it should be. 50, 38, 21, 54. Yeah, I think Berry's out too.
Red flag.
Red flag's out. Yeah, you're right. Red flag. Race stopped. So there's a bigger accident out there, and they need to sort this out. Red flag. Smith is out of the car. There we go. Here's the replay. Joe, talk us through it.
So right there, we see John Hunter Nemechek looks like gets into Zane Smith. The two make contact. Zane Smith rides up the wall. We see John Hunter Nemechek spinning down. I think he's going to get into Josh Berry, but driver's side grinding up against the racetrack, exposing the bottom to the crowd as he's coming out of turn 4. As the car slides down the bank and is going to roll over once on this roof. comes up again to the wheels, but then it's just starting to bounce in. He's not on the grass, thankfully, just on the pavement, so he comes down on top of all 4 wheels, landing right side up. Here's an angle. We're going to see what happened with John Nemechek. Did he get into... Looks like he got into Ty Gibbs. We see the side of Zane Smith go by. Oh, and there's a big contact with Josh Berry. John Hunter Nemechek was out of control. Josh Berry, wrong place, wrong time, and that sent him hard into the wall. That ended Josh Berry's day because he climbed out of the car, so he is out. Here is another angle of the incident. We see Ty Gibbs spinning. Josh Berry head on into the wall outside. That is a hard hit. So grateful to see that he climbed out of that car, but it looks like they're going to be addressing the safer barrier just to make sure it's good, ready for the restart. Back to you, Josh.
Thanks, Joe. Red flag. Race stopped with 5 to go on our first overtime restart. That was a nasty, scary-looking accident as well. I'm glad it came to rest as well, Jack, on all 4s, because it could have so easily have gone over again.
I think, as I said earlier, Alfredo's the last person to flip at Kansas, but goodness me, that was a really weird wreck. I'm glad to see Zane Smith okay, and also glad to see Josh Berry alright, because he took an absolutely monstrous hit into the wall as well, but not quite sure what Nemechek's doing here, but I digress. Yeah, really good to see Zane's alright. That was not what I expected to see. And it's unfortunate for Zane as well. He was having a really good run today.
This is okay, which is good news. Go on, Joe.
It's always interesting as we go on board with Zane Smith. It just looks like the case was, as he got pushed up on the wall, as that front fender got deflected in, that exposed the wheel and it just climbs up the wall. So really it was not much of a big hit, but then when you start rolling and then landing, that's where, okay, you're taking shots to the body. On board with Kyle Busch. See, we get a view of Josh Berry's incident where he gets John Hunter Nemechek out of control, slams into him, and they just go head on to the wall. Josh Berry's hit was the most severe hit as all the cars are stopped entering turn 3 under this red flag, angled down, so in case the car doesn't start, they can use that momentum from the banking to go down the hill and restart the car. Bubble Wall is out front of Christopher Bell, Briscoe, and Tyler Reddick with Hamlin. No power steering.
Yeah.
He's going to be exhausted double overtime.
I can confirm that myself, JT, and Jack are British. Joe is American to come in. Yeah, red flag's out after a scary flip, and it definitely was a flip to come through. 2 over, and they're resting on all 4s. Zane Smith's okay. The 21, the 54, the 42, and the 38, that was involved at turn 3. So, we wait for a 5-lap restart with overtime attempt 2. It will be a green-white checker once more, but the safer barrier needs to be checked to make sure it's going to be okay. Everybody's asking what the view figure's at. The total view figures for this race at the moment on the YouTube live chat stands at 31,057. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you're enjoying it.
Overall, this has been a very good race for Kansas standards.
Oh, yeah.
I know the spring race earlier may have not lived up to the expectation, but here we are. 9th caution of the day, first red flag. We're under 4 minutes, approaching the 5-minute mark under the red flag period.
I can confirm, just quickly for a little fun fact, this is the first time a Cup Series car has ever flipped at Kansas.
The new gen?
No, in general.
Really?
Cup cars never flipped at Kansas before. Alfredo flipped in Xfinity a few years ago.
Well, it doesn't count.
Apparently Kelly Sutton also flipped in trucks.
It was a flip, obviously, because it didn't roll over and didn't flip, but it's not a bog standard, it caught air and flipped. It was a...
not a blowover.
Yeah. It is a flip roll to come into it, which is weird. And Shirley said that's what I said. Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, that was one thing when it came to, we all remember the Hail Melon.
Yes.
The one concern was, what if that fender had bent more and the wheel catches that wall and you get a repeat? The flips we've seen of this car, Charlotte, I think of, Christopher Buescher, but he hit the grass at a wrong angle, and I think there was like a storm drain that tossed him up and over. This one, NASCAR will be reviewing it, but I think there's going to be straightforward evidence that the fender bend, caught the wheel, and that sent him up into the wall sideways.
So the red flag's out, the race has stopped. Let's change over to USA and see what happened to that restart.
Who's just barely above the cut line. Remember, he just asked what the point situation was. And watch this right here. He has a huge run up turn too. Listen to the spotter.
Stretching here. Big room out front if you get to the 20.
Big run out front. Big room out front if you get to the 20. Briscoe has every chance to push his teammate, but Briscoe's thinking he has to win. He has to win, so he swings left. Bubba defends it. Just an interesting small nuance of the 19, as he should, thinking he needs to win this race.
Yeah, he had to win the race. And watch this as we continue on. Watch Bubba Wallace in the 23 car runs Christopher Bell up the racetrack. Bell had to lift or make contact with the wall. Now remember, Christopher Bell has another restart, and that goes in the memory bank. All right, you're willing to shove me out of the line for this spot. That means you giving me a permission slip for me to do what I got to do to win this race.
Hard to believe this 38 car is 3,500 pounds. It goes up, it runs, what, a quarter mile, sliding on the left side door. That's plated. And then right here, it tumbles like a model car. Doesn't even look like it can be real. When it lands, if you look at the left side, though, look how intact it is, even sliding all that distance. Jeff, I can't imagine what Zane Smith is seeing and smelling and thinking as you know, as you said, he's you know, belted in, but what is he, a foot off the asphalt?
Oh,
18
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like 18 inches from your headrest is the asphalt going by at 100 miles an hour?
Sparks flying sideways. Like, what in the world is happening?
Just such a visceral experience, like Oak spoke about the noise aspect before.
Yeah, that's a good example right here. So,
yeah,
obviously this head surround is part of the seat.
Yeah, so that whole part is connected to the seat.
So if you look where the driver's helmet is, right? This is part of the head surround. That is connected to the seat. There's one on both sides of the driver's head. So you can see that head surround. It's a good 2 inches from the window net at the very back.
I said he was a foot from the asphalt. I don't know. That doesn't look like a foot right there. I'm going to say he's about 6 inches from the asphalt.
So, but that head surround is made out of carbon fiber. It's very, very strong. It does not move. It essentially is very, very stiff. The foam, where you see the Monster Energy logo, that foam, that's the energy absorbing material. It moves. So when the driver makes contact, that foam moves, lets the driver's head absorb some energy, takes the movement away, slows everything down, but the head surround itself, it doesn't move. It is very, very stiff.
And there's actually a rule. So NASCAR has a device they put in here, and they measure the head rest location both laterally and vertically within the car. So they know where it is relative to the window net and some of the bars.
And how far the helmet is from it. There's rules that there's closer.
We are refired, but I've got news from JT. Security, for NASCAR security has been called to Zane Smith's hauler. Don't know why. Zane Smith's flip is the first time the car has rode up the wall and barrel rolled down the track since Carl Long at Rockingham in 2004. Thank you, JT, for that one. Go for it, Joe.
I'm concerned if security is being called. I'm guessing someone is really upset over there. Feels like John Nemechek or somebody did something wrong. I'm hoping to show another angle. It looked like Josh Berry, besides hitting the outside wall, hit the inside wall too very hard.
Jack.
And you look at the driver tracker too.
Go on, go.
Why is there security being called to the hauler? Why?
Don't know. Go on, Joe. What were you saying about the driver
Fight
tracker?
maybe.
So if you look on the driver tracker that we have, Josh Berry's car came to a stop on the inside of turn 4. When they were showing the clip of Bubba Wallace pushing Bell up, it looked like he hit the outside wall and then it came down and hit the inside wall. And I don't know if that inside wall is safer barrier or not. It might be concrete.
Ah, you're going to get your wish, by the way. We're looking at the restart while we go behind the pace car once more. Yeah, everyone jumped the restart in the zone, and it didn't go when Bell and Wallace did. Just took a while to kick off at the front. Okay. 4 to go. They're ticking down. Let's hope the second time of a restart's going to be good. Hopefully Matthew Owens is on his own at the moment. That would be a little bit of a worry. I want to thank quickly all 32,424 of you who have watched this evening, as well as all 2,000 watching concurrently, and all of the people who subscribed today. Let's hear from Bubba.
That's Bubba Wallace saying, I can't have that happen again. How about this, folks? In the space of 7 days, that has been dominated by the talk about how teammates race each other. Now, in the top 5, you've got 3 teammates from Joe Gibbs Racing and the 2 from 2311.
So to Jeff's point, I just believe, look, if I was in this 23 team, I'd be reminding Bubba that while we should expect some help from our teammate out of the restart zone, let's not forget that this isn't a team sport. Bubba Wallace wins. It doesn't put both 2311 cars into the next round. It only puts the car that won. So I'm with you, Jeff. I understand Bubba's frustration, but let's worry about us. Let's not drive expecting help.
The difference between this week and last week is all of these guys are still playoff eligible.
Yes.
All of these guys still have an opportunity to win a championship. Now, look, the other side of this is we don't know what the conversations are at 2311 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If we get in these situations, this is how we're going to handle that. We're not privy to that information, but I can promise you that the sponsors and the crew members and everybody involved on both of these cars want to be the one that win.
Well, we went under caution and went under red flag because of a very scary crash experienced by Zane Smith. He's with Dave Burns now.
Lee, he's out of the infield care center. What did you just experience, smell, taste, feel?
Yeah, it was a wild ride, no doubt. Before I knew it, I had a decent restart going, and then, I just get wrecked by the 42. It just drives through me. And then, I was sliding on the wall and was just mad at that point from how our day was going, and then this just pissed me off even more because that's what really hurt, was just flipping down the track. So, violent, no doubt, but man, such a fast speed you cashed forward today, and just a bummer. Right before that caution came out, we were going to have a top 10 day racing up inside the top 10 majority of the day, and it's a shame that it has to come to an end that way. But just shout out to everyone back at FRM for bringing another really good car, especially at a mile and a half. So 5 more. Hopefully we can bring some more good ones.
Glad you're okay. Wild ride after a strong run.
Okay, getting ready for the restart. They're at the choose and 3 to go. They'll back the back up. Let's hope that this time we can have a good show. Joe, what do you think? Bubba or Christopher Bell? It's one of the two.
1 to 2 again. You got the same lineup. Bubba in the inside with Tyler Reddick behind. Christopher Bell on the outside with his teammate Chase Briscoe behind. Big key is they need to have a good push. If they don't, Christopher Bell, he's going to be out there. It's going to be all on Tyler Reddick to give Bubba the push. If Tyler Reddick wants a shot to get the win, you need to give Bubba that push, get him clear, then you get clear of the 20, and then try to get the win away from Bubba. I think it's still going to be the 23, but don't count out the 20. He almost got it done, but Bubba raced him really hard.
This is overtime, by the way. It's our second attempt at trying to get this race restarted. Bubba Wallace has chosen the inside line. Reddick, Larson, SVG and Chastain behind him. Bell on the outside with Briscoe, Hamlin and Byron behind. 90 minutes. That's how long we've had to wait for stage 3 to be concluded. Let's get this one off. Green flag is out. We're racing once again for the second overtime, and once again it's a bump from the 45 and a bump from the 19 that pushes the 23 and the 20 into towards turn 1. The Garner's trying to look down low as well. Coming down, SVG's looking good. And you say he can't race on ovals. He's battling behind Larson. Up high goes Briscoe once more. Down now. Wallace had the inside line. Joe Bell's on the outside. Bell's got the traction, but Bubba's not letting it go.
I'll let him go. Look at Briscoe trying to make it 3 wide. This is going to be key.
Bubba's going to come out.
He put him in the wall.
He put him in the wall, and Bell's jump. White flag is out, and now Bubba Wallace has to defend from Denny Hamlin, who's running in second position, who sends it up the track. Chase Elliott's in there too, but I think Bubba might have got it, but is that going to be controversial because he put him in the wall? Down the backstraight we go, into the inside line. Hamlin comes down low to swing through. Bubba's on the outside line, they're side by side, Bubba hits the wall, he's wall riding it out of 4, coming down low, Chase Elliott to take the pair, it's side by side of the line, it's Chase Elliott, he races his way to the round of 8, breaking through on Hamlin and Wallace at the line, and it's the 9 car who's done a remarkable comeback. Fantastic end! It's Chase Elliott who wins the Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas, and that was simply fantastic maneuvers. Oh, Joe, that was fantastic stuff.
The gloves came off. We said on the pre-race show, Chevrolet, they could win it if the Toyotas put themselves in this bad spot. You had 4 Toyotas up there. Chase Elliott working his way to the front and stole this race. Remember, no power steering for Denny Hamlin. I wonder if that was a factor at all with the contact, because he's been racing with no power steering since we had like 30 laps to go. Yeah. If you look in the replay, it's in there. Doesn't give Bubba Wallace a room. Bubba, nowhere to go, just goes in the wall rides it, but here comes Chase Elliott to steal it. What an effort by him. I think Denny Hamlin might be kicking himself after this.
That was spectacular. How did you see it, Jack?
Toyota have just committed the biggest bottle job I might have seen in NASCAR history. Just wow. And of all people in that restart, I would have not picked Chase Elliott to win that. Also, something remarkable has just happened. Shane Van Gisbergen has got a top 10 on an oval.
Well done. Well done, SVG. But Elliott didn't just knock once, he knocked twice, Joe, across that line.
Yeah, he wanted to get around, so.
The celebrations are going off. Let's hear what he's got to say. He's a winner in Kansas, and Chase Elliott is making his way to the round of 8.
When Chase Elliott won there, Lee, you mentioned it. He was so aggressive in the final few laps today, and I don't think you can get much more aggressive than Chase Elliott was. NASCAR's most popular driver is into the round of 8 with a dramatic win here at the Kansas Speedway. We wondered if starting up front would be a difference for this race team. They raced in the top 10 all day long, and at the end of the day, an amazing restart for Chase Elliott. When everyone was talking about the Toyota cars, it was Chase Elliott and Hendrick Motorsports that advanced to the round of 8 with some incredible moves in the last half lap. How about that, Kansas race fans? Chase Elliott in victory lane and on to the round of 8. Wow. How?
I don't know, man. Just everything worked out perfect for me. Had a great push through 1 and 2. That kind of all started with the 6. And yeah, big run off of 2. C's kind of parted and just was able to keep my momentum up. You know, that was really it. And obviously we still have pretty good tires, you know, compared to those guys. But what a crazy finish. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I certainly did. Yeah, just really proud of our team. Had a really solid weekend, win or no win. Really nice to, you know, qualify really well, but we'll certainly enjoy this, man. This is pretty cool, you know. Just never take this stuff for granted, because they're hard to come by, you know, and learn that the hard way. So always enjoy it, always appreciate it. Thanks to everybody at KBB. What a great partner. Been on board for it's our 10th year together, which is pretty cool. Chevrolet, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Boss, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Glad to be bringing one home.
You said the C's parted, but you kind of had to put a little door to the 11. Were you thinking this is my only shot to make it happen?
Oh, I wasn't going to lift, so I didn't know what was going to happen, but I figured, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it was what it was at that point. We were both wide open corner exit, so wherever I ended up at that point. We were all committed, so it was Yeah, really cool just to be, restart 10th and somehow win it on a green-white checker is pretty neat.
Boy, what a different weekend it was this weekend for the 9 team. Alan Gustafson with the call to go with 4 tires. It paid off, and Chase Elliott made it happen at the end of the day, Dave.
Marty, what an amazing day for Denny Hamlin and almost a win there at the end. Denny, how would you describe this day?
Just super disappointing. Obviously, wanted it bad. It would have been 60 for me, and we team just did an amazing job with the car. Just really, really fast. Gave me everything I needed. At the restart I needed. Just couldn't finish it there on the last corner. Obviously got really, really tight with the 23, and just got real tight, and we let the 9 win.
Is it this place? It seems to be a riddle that is tough to solve.
Yeah, it's just mechanical failures and different things have really hindered us in years past, and we had no power steering that last run and low voltage, just a lot of things, and just couldn't. I just disappointed because I don't think I've ever had a car that good to the competition, Man, I wanted it for my dad. I wanted it for everybody. Just wanted it a little too hard.
Toughed it out best he could today, Kim.
And Bubba Wallace will have to settle for a 5th place finish after being in the lead there to take the final restart. What do you make of how your team owner, Denny Hamlin, raced you there at the end?
Well, to even have a shot at the win with the way we started, I told Post, he could have fooled me because we were not good. We missed it on the fire off speed. So I just really appreciate the team. 2 years ago, I'd probably say something dumb. I mean, he's a dumbass for that move, for sure. I don't care if he's my boss or not. But we're going for the win. I hate that we gave it to Chevrolet there. Toyotas were super fast, and proud to be driving one. I thought it was meant to be, and then it wasn't. And all in all, the positive, though, we were minus 26 coming in. Now we're minus 27 coming in. We're minus 26 leaving. We gained a point.
They gained a point. Maybe a frustration there at the end for Bubba Wallace.
Thanks, guys. What a remarkable achievement. Okay, let's come up to the comms box and get the final thoughts from the team. I want to ask quickly, JT, are you here?
He's on deafen.
No, so he didn't make it. I thought not. He was so close. Okay, Jack, final thoughts from you then, please, mate.
Wow. Just wow. One, that's probably the biggest bottle job I've seen since Spurs bottled a 3-goal lead in like 10 minutes. But secondly, it's just not an Elliott win, is it? He's not used to having wins just handed to him like this. Fair play. I mean, it's just lovely to see guys just going all out for the win like that. I love it. What an amazing finish. Great race. And can't wait to call the Roval next week.
It's going to be a great one. Joe, thank you so much for stepping in to the comp box tonight as well to make it the 3-team. What are your final thoughts on this epic race?
Great race. Start to finish, we had great racing action. We had a tire where we saw you could race each other hard. If you were struggling with handling like Bubba Wallace, you were able to work your way to get to a better situation. And at the end of the day, Denny Hamlin wanted that win just as badly as Bubba Wallace. Could this be the move that guarantees 2311's out of the playoffs? And could this be the move that distracts Denny and then he eliminates himself from the championship 4? A lot of unanswered questions, of course, will be on the air in about 8 p.m. Eastern grid tonight for a grid wrap-up.
Please make sure to go over to the Grid Network for the post-race show. That's at Grid Network TV. The link is in the YouTube comment section as well, and the link below. Go over there for the post-show. It is going to be amazing. Same team there as over there. Joe, thank you very much for stepping in as well. Hope you enjoyed it as well. My thanks to Jack and JT. He got behind the scenes and did all the stuff, and Omen's been watching as well, cursing us as always. Well, what an absolute fantastic weekend we have had here at Kansas. The round of 12 has given us another one, and that goes. Chase Elliott is locked in alongside Ryan Blaney, but what are we going to have? It's Roval time next, and we'll see you at Charlotte. Bye-bye.